Father, for creating all things. Through you, Father, all things are possible. Through the Word, you are the Word. You created a flesh vessel. You didn't exist in flesh. You are the Hokodesh, the truth undefiled by flesh, and exist in flesh. Thank you, Father, for that, for the Word. The Word isn't flesh, so thank you for all the apostles, the 13. Thank you for Paul. Thank you for Paul's writings. Without Paul, we wouldn't have the gospel. Thank you. He'll take even just the worst, just the absolute worst, evil, a Pharisee and a mass murderer, and he rebuked the hearts of a mass murderer and a tax collector, and hung out, remember, in flesh with a prostitute, a lady of the night. So he tells us not to sup with vipers under this covenant. Remember that. There's a fine line. He's the one who divides. He is the Hokodesh. He is the Haridzo. He is Shiloh. The one that will redeem the bride. It's all about a wedding. It's not about religion. It's about the gospel. It's about a wedding. The gospel is what leads to the wedding. Feast of the Lamb. It's about a lamb that sacrificed life in flesh to fulfill all flesh. It's in the Hokodesh. It's in the Haridzo. It is in the Alati. It's in the truth. There's only one that's sovereign, one that's undefiled from above. Not in the sky, from above. Like your master. You can't serve two. And he always sends two witnesses, and he said he would. Yes, those two thieves that'll steal your crown. 2 kings, 2 crowns. Revelation 3:11, like a thief in the night, he says, I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. Yeah, will you have a crown to set at the feet of the Redeemer, the bride, before Father? Did you pay the price? Well, he paid the price, but did you pay the price under this covenant? Did you do Father's will, or did you do your own? Let's go to the book of Matthew. Let's go in reverse, 10:34 to 39. Remember, he said, he that is not what? He who's willing to give his life for my shems, for my agape, for my authority, for this covenant's sake, the 66 books under this covenant, though not by flesh, blotted out of the old, under this New Testament. That's what he means by Shem, name, authority, agape. I am Shiloh, Jesus. My name, not 5 or 3 or 6 or 9 or 10, but all the books. He who is willing to give their life for my Shem's sake is the promise of eternity with me. I am Father, the creator of all things, the writer, the author, and the editor, creates everything that ever will be, everything not written. I lost my light, guys, so you're going to have to deal with it. My little headlamp took a dump on me, so spent all that money and didn't last. Oh well. It's a nice lamp. The design's a little intricate, but so you have to deal with the darkness. It's not he said, wrestle not against flesh. He said he'd send 2 witnesses. It's those 2 thieves that hang right there on your face, right there in front of your eyes. Focus on that. He who is willing to give his life for my Shem's sake is the promise of eternity with me at the wedding feast of the lambs. And he who's not willing to give his Shem authority, agape's sake, is the promise of the abyss, gnashing of teeth, eternal destruction. We're all eternal. It don't matter what you think. We're all eternal. Just matters if you gnash teeth or you're going to go to the wedding feast of the lambs. He said, before Abraham was, I am. So he who's not willing to give their life For my Shem's sake is the promise, the assurance of eternal destruction. He who loves, right? The daughter more than me, the father more than me, anything. We don't need, we'll just go in reverse. You love anything, you love the dirt more than him. That's the assurance of the abyss. He'll strip you of this aletheia that's contained within the Hokadesh, the word. Sup with the word. He said he is the word. This was all created with the word. Was it not spoken into existence by breath? He life into Adam. He created man and woman before he ever created Adam and Eve. Hope you remember that. I said I'm eternal, not 6,000 years old. I don't never die. Death is an illusion. All it says it in that book. What is death? If you never die by flesh, you must die daily. Paul told you to circumcise it, to cut it off. It's in the Hokadesh. It's in the gospel. By only faith, but he makes them. If I didn't call out to their continuously hearts filled with wickedness to seek after me, not one of us would. Not one of them would. Not one of them would. That's right. Time is an absolute doorway of space and place. The time, the difference between dimension. This place and that space is dimension. Remember, I'm eternal, so time is an illusion, as well as death. It's a doorway to another time or place or space, back to where you Hokadesh, where you came from before this meat suit that caused you to sin. And he divides that meat, flesh, tells you to be born from above daily, not again, daily. Cut it off, circumcise the flesh, said Paul. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for Corinthians. Colossians, once blotted out, right? Blotted out once back then is now still in effect under this new covenant. You can't go back to the old. You can't go back to your old self. He will rebuke you about pace. That's in a 180-degree turnaround in the military. That means you stop doing what you don't go back to. That's the old self. Remember, pornea, idolatria. It's in the word. It's in the Hokadesh, truth. Can't be piled with flesh. He's the divider. I am the horizo. I am the separator. I'm the divider. I'm not the light. I'm the light. I created the light from the darkness. Don't you remember what it says in Genesis? Leviticus, Exodus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy are the first 5, the Torah. I'm not under laws of flesh. I am destined. Are you destined? Are you bound by the law of fate? Kind of got to do that with this current situation. So thought we'd come in here, do some teaching before we have a little discussion. But as all things are created by Father. So what am I to say? It's just an unwriting of his, right? An unwriting? No, you can't unwrite. He's the writer, the author, the creator, the editor. You're doing, he said, there's no such thing as man-made if Father created all things. There's no such thing as free will, and there's no such thing as luck. Not by fortune, by fame, you'll find death, abyss, or by fortune, bis. Remember, rub on my little lamp, you demon, you Arab demon, and I'll tell you, give you 3 wishes or fortunes, right? You little fairy tale, you little genie. Well, that's an Arab demon. A Celtic demon is a demon, a deceiver. Calvinist. No, right? Rebuke your religions. Isms, Calvinism, Satanism. Calvinists are Satanists. Christians are Satanists. Catholics, the most Satanist of them all. Catholicism, the deadly head wound. I am the word, he said. In the word, it was created with the, I go by the interlinear Texas. Although I understand I create all things, divide. That doesn't make me a Calvinist. I rebuke all religions. He said to the most high doesn't dwell under temples or houses made by hands. I'm not flesh. Why would I be a Calvinist? They're one of these isms, Christianities, insanities, isms, schisms, religions. Yeah, all religions are vain. He is the word. He doesn't divide. He's the divider. You are the divider. If you're the separator, if you're causing the sheep to scatter, telling me I'm a Calvinist. Thank you for righteous judgments, but why would you call me an ism or a schism or an insanity kind of religion? Are you? Oh, how many voices do you hear in your head in a daily? Father, Son, Hokadesh, because it's in the word, so I constantly hear that. It's like a rhythm, it's like it never stops. And then I have self, which I fight to die to self flesh daily. Cut it off, Paul said. Circumcise it in the flesh. Wrestle, he said in Ephesians 6:11, not against flesh, because we're not under that law. That's agape, you idiot, by old ordinance. Testament, blotted out on stone. Are you out of your mind smoking? What are you on, a stogie or some kind of swisher? Yeah. Death to self, die daily. To flesh, cut it off. What would make me a Calvinist? Because I understand that Father created all things. What are you, an idiot? Idiot means you don't know. Don't worry about it. You don't know. Can't hold it against you. Can't hold it against the wall. Get him up against the wall. Against. You guys need a little entertainment or something, some bread and circus where you stand up. This is Yahtzeeism right here in the days like people walk to their death, smoke, the pit. Remember? Fire. He said, eyes of fire. There's one final shofar, one ram's horn. You're not getting out of here early. Can guarantee that. What are you upset? You want to put a religion on me because I said Father creates all things? It's in his book. You don't like, go to a book of Isaiah 45:7. Father creates evil. Most people go to hell, but children don't go to hell. Babies that never committed sin, that the age of accountability. You take that little ball in the yard because it's fun. It looks like a little round ball and you go chase it, almost like these modern day isms, Christianity, schisms, insanity. They all go after ball gods. Remember Baal and the Grove. But anyways, you don't realize you're taking the ball out of the yard because it's a ball and you're a child. And you've never committed a sin because you don't know the difference between right or, but there's an age of account. You take that ball, little Jenny's mom's going to come out, yep, and whoop, oh, yes. So he said you must be innocent. Is a child. You know, innocence, like you don't understand. You're taking the ball, whether it's right or wrong. That's how he wants you to be. Like the world with these worldly laws is what he's talking about, idiots. Fleshly laws, the corporate laws, the United Corporation of the Americas, Babylon, new mystery. Did you get it? Because of the time change, you know, Christianity, birthed in the middle of the winter, insanity, 3 gifts they gave. He was almost 3 years old, not a baby. The celebration of anything is vain. You know what that means? Worthless to Father. Haven't you never read the book of Jeremiah 10? 4:1, cut at the tree, grove, bell, balls, ball worship. Here we go again. Here we go round in circles. Are you spinning at 1,040 miles an hour on a ball? I mean, a block. You're in the third dimension in a rock square, right? Like 290s. Shove you right together, and now you're in his cage, enslaved. Yes, by isms and insanities, a child. So what makes me a Calvinist? Any more questions? Did I rebuke your Calvinism with all your insanities, your Christianity? They follow the communion, remember? Communicate with demons, devils, deities, little g gods, have sex pistol rituals, have sex with beasts. Somebody's got mange. Well, what are you doing having sex with beasts? Well, that's the insanity of their isms, of their Yule wheel worship. The feast. Remember? He said, don't sup with vipers. Don't cast your pearls before swine. Twice, brothers and sisters, he declares to witness, get him out of here. No, he said, so we won't have it in here. I'm not a Calvinist. You're wrong. Remember communion? They thought they could communicate with their deities, little g gods, demons, distributors of fortunes of lies. They thought they can, yes, fortunes. Yes, they can communicate, blow on their wineskins, bottles. What kind of bottle are you? I'm going to pop some tags. Oh, wait, that's a good will. Anyways, Father's will, that's the only will. Otherwise, it's pornea. There's no such thing as free will, you idiot. Who taught you that? You're a mammon. Traditions of men. Ahab married Jezebel, not giants or fallen angels, you idiot. Who told you that? Oh, Anakin Skywalker and Jabba the Hutt. Yeah, did you bow to the altar of Jabba? Did you stand in? Did you put your faith in Father or in the science? Scientology? Oh, there's another one of them isms, schisms, etology. Oh, we have another insanity. Communicate with devils is what they thought devil is a demon, you idiot. The word demon is the word devil. The word devil not written even one single time. And he said, don't add a letter. And now you added a whole word. What the hell is a devil? Never heard of a devil. A devil, you're an idiot. A devil is a deity, a little G god. Remember they had a sex orgy. They thought they could have sex with man, beast, and woman and have a birth of their date, of their 25th date of the December Yule wheel. All these insane lunatics saying it's 2025. Who the hell told you it's 2025? Grow up. I mean, you have the interweb. You've been caught up in too much of that hub, pulling your own chain. Pornea, idolatria, serving yourself in your eyes, pulling. Yes, you did. Deity is they used to have a burnt offering of a sex ritual. They had sex with beast, man, and woman. They'd take one man, they'd have a straw. Or a lotto, hey, red and blue, just kind of like Rome. You know, lottery tickets, fortunes. Father knows where the dice will land. You can stack the deck. He does. You can't cheat Father. There's no such thing as luck. Good luck with that, huh? There's no such thing as luck. Grow up, child. There's no such thing as free will. Stop being so childish. Did the world tell you it's 2025? It's not 2025. You're a lunatic. Somebody needs to call you out. He said, don't sup with vipers. Shine the light on them. Rebuke them with the alathea. The Hokadash. It's not 2025, you little silly lunatic spinning around on a ball, or you got a 1,040 miles an hour corkscrewing through on a block or a ball. Well, I think in third dimension, I think about 290s. I think he gets trapped in a cage. To which dimension are you on a block or a ball spinning? Anyone? Bueller? Class is in session. Bueller? All right, back in class. Okay, anyways, I don't give my allegiance to a flag, by the way, or a country. I took an oath to the Constitution. Father, remember, is the writer. It was a God-given, protected, organic, natural, color of law, Black's law, the land, protected. So you might have to excuse me. Some of us were sent here to stand 10-toe. Not get on your knees like a slave. You have rights, remember? Constitutional, civil rights. Hello? Bueller? Anyone? All right, anyways, moving on. Back to the corporate debt slaves. We got corporate debt slaves. Smell somebody in here is a religious. And he said, don't sup with vipers. Or I smell a pig liquor in here. Or pig. Somebody's, yes, are you a pig liquor? He said, don't sup with vipers. Don't cast your pearls before swine. I'm going to talk about pork that you eat. Remember, they used to eat the flesh of man. Catholicism. Remember? Masse, Christianity, Masse Christians, they eat the Masse flesh of the man, flesh of the man, or the bestiality Yule ritual. Yule tidings, and throw the log on the fire, throw the Yule, that's a blasphemy. They're talking about throwing the lamb on the fire. The ewe is the baby. Throw babies on that's Moloch, Krampus, eat your kids. Krampus Santa, hey, ho, ho, you want to know where the hoes are at? Ask Santa. He knows where all the hoes are at on the candy cane pole up in the North Pole. Polarity. You don't know the difference between polarity and magnetism, do you? Got you all stuck together, don't you? Marrying truth to a lie. Oh, we're having a pole shift. That means the compass will be pointed to the south, you idiot. Grow up. It happens every 11 years on the sun, 22 on the moon. There are cycles. You forget, Father is the creator. He said, I, in the flesh, control the Pleiades, the 7 stars, which are the 7 churches, which are the 7 candlesticks. Remember, in the temple, which is all fulfilled. Remember, I tighten the Pleiades, the 7 stars, and I loosen Orion's belt. But you wouldn't know the cycles, would you? Going back to Kali, you know the Kali Yuga cycles? Probably not. Not if you think it's 2025, you know nothing. You're a lunatic. You go by this Christianity, insanity, Yule whistle, worship, isms. They used to have a bestiality ritual. You can call it Christianity. You can call it bestiality. How about that? Christianity, it's all insanity. Mormonism, Calvinism, there's no prophets. The Father created all things. Stop playing with yourself. That's pornea, idolatria. You're serving yourself. Service to self. Autonomous, driven by self-will. See, you're jerking yourself off. There's another chain. Go pull it somewhere else. It's called the hub. Or pornea, idolatria. You're serving your eyes. He said, don't serve your eyes. Serve me, serve the word. I'm not eyes, what you see. I am the word. I am inside you. I am the Hokadash. I am the ghost, not busters. Remember, they used to pray to their deities. They thought they could pray to their dead ancestors. See what I'm saying? And these people are insane idiots, right? Well, insane means you're insane in the membrane. I don't know what they're on. Some other kind of juice. The other Jesus, remember? The other gospel Paul spoke of. It's called religion, guys. I don't care what you say. It's one religion or the other. It don't matter. It's the same religion. They're all the same. They're vain. He said it didn't dwell in temples or house, and he said it twice to make it a contract. I'm not bound by law. I am destined. You better learn the difference, because at the wedding feast of the Lamb, Father will know the difference. If you don't have a mediator stand there before Father, you're, well, screwed. It'd be like the Hebrew word froward. It means you perverted it and made it your self-will. So you sent yourself to hell. You're already there if you think about it. Oh, corkscrewing and spinning on a ball. If man evolved from apes, why are there still apes? All right, we won't talk about evolution, because then we got to speak about extinction, and people think, oh my God, we're all going to die. That's right. We're all going to die. Isn't that a beautiful thing? You're not going to be here forever. You better figure it out before you die. That's why Paul said, cut it off, circumcise the flesh. Man or woman, doesn't matter. It's, well, that's not Catholicism, eating flesh. He's talking about a spiritual circumcision of the outer man, the outer woman, the laws of man, tradition of man. You can't serve two masters. I will send two to take your cross if you I come quickly like a thief. Hey, he makes it pretty clear in the word. There's going to be a thief. He said the eye is the lamp of the body. Like, remember, I will come like a thief in the night. Oh, there you go. If the eye is filled with darkness, the whole vessel, the whole lamp, are you steering the ship? If it's filled with darkness, the whole vessel, the whole lamp's filled with darkness. If it's filled with light, then the whole vessel, yep, remember, they don't mix like oil and water. Like, yes, truth to a lie. You can't add a jot. You know what that means? Probably not. You probably shouldn't speak under what about a tittle? Stop playing with yourself. I'm not talking about a fiddle. The devil went down to Georgia. Looking for a soul. Father, the creator and the writer. He said, no worry about who can take your flesh. Only worry who can take your flesh and your soul. Yo, devil went down to Georgia, huh? Never mind. Father's got me on that Jesus juice. So what's this guy on? Whatever. Still have to put in work for the ministry. Still do this because this is what Father makes me do. It's in the word. I got to share the light. Don't put it at the top of your house and rise and shine above others. Put it at the top of the house and let him shine. Let it shine. So, I guarantee you. Oh, you guys, I have to take this call. Pretty important. I'll be back. If I don't come back, I'll come back on and we'll share some more of the gospel. Love you, brothers and sisters. There's links in the description. Support the ministry by commenting or links in the description. I'll be back. I like Terminator, John Connor. Oh, don't worry about it. We missed it. That's okay. Father said not right now. I didn't catch it in fast enough, so that's okay. Jimmy crack corn. If they come back on, I do need to take that. I apologize. But anyways, I have some fleshy stuff that I have to deal with. But remember, Paul said, circumcise it, cut it off. And that's why I have to continue to serve this ministry, because this is part of my inheritance that I will receive. Remember, after the king, the crown, I come quickly. Let no one take your crown. So Revelation, the book of Revelation is everything. We're here. This is Revelation. We are living Revelation. I hope you're living the apocalypse, that book, last book in scripture. This is going by the script, and they know that. That's why they're doing it. They know it better than you. They know it better than all these religions. I have a large bill now to cover. So if you'd like to, let's take a break. If you want to help out, now's your time. Father's already blessed the ministry. I ain't joking. I know Father will do it. I ain't going there. Brother Jim brings in $1 million a year. $1 million just to take. Thank you, Father, for providing the ministry. All the people, like I said, I think there's even a larger subscription base on this channel than Brother Jim's, but he's been doing a lot longer. There's about $13,000 right there. Okay. This ain't bragging. I want to take and hold on to this EMS. Okay. EMS. And I want to purchase the Ecuador ministry with this gold. So if you want to pad the ministry right now and purchase the ministry, I'll be taking the money and putting it over. So you'd be putting it in this. He's the one who saves. Remember, he's the one who saves. So if he doesn't want a South American ministry, I'll go to prison. or I'll get on probation. I won't be able to go there, or whatever Father wants. Put this all in Father's hands. I know we haven't been here as long as some, thank you, Lady in Red, Brother Ross, as many of you guys have been following this trek here through the stars as we've gone through this long time, place, and space over the last, 13 or 14 months. It's just Father creates all things. So there's a blessing right here already. This is by my heart. None of this was paid for necessarily I started out with one with a $700 motorcycle, but not bought by in a store or even pawn shop or a coin shop. This is all done by trade. Pastor is a trader. I'm a horse trader. Remember, there's 4 horsemen. There's 2 white horses. We're in the red horse right now, brothers and sisters. I hope you understand where we are at. The book of the Apocalypse doesn't mean it's the end of the world. You got 4 horses. We're in the second. You got 2 mas to go, okay? He said he'd send 2 witnesses. I ain't playing. There's a black and there's a pale green horse you have to see in this. If you have eyes and a spiritual ear and a celestial eye or ear, you'll already know. It won't matter. You won't freak out. You will be anticipating this death because you die daily to flesh already. So he said we must be put through fire. You didn't get this to this form. Purified. Some of this is 4 9s fine. That's as pure. I mean, the Canadian makes a 5-9, which is even higher than 24, because 24 is like gold. That would be 4 9s in silver, like silver. Okay. He wants us to be like gold and silver. He wants us to be put through fire. He wants to refine us. He wants to beat us and just make us go through the hardest of times. If we love him, we'll stand by faith like Daniel, no matter what, in a den of lions that want to eat us, and we will stand in our faith and we will not falter. And no matter the results, it don't matter. Not everybody is. All the apostles died a martyr for Christ, brothers and sisters, because they loved his word more than the life that they left. Remember Matthew 10:34 through 39. A man's enemies will be the one of his own household. We already went through what happens if you don't give up your life, those who will, and that the man's enemies would be you. You are your biggest enemy. These 2 thieves that'll take your crown, right? I separate. I'm the hodos. I am the truth, and the truth is that I am the horizo. I am the separator, not the scorpizo, which is the one who causes the sheep to scatter, the flock to scatter. I divide the light, he said. I am the horizo. I am the divider. I am the separator, the day and the night, the dark and the light. I pull them to my light. I already chose that from the foundation of the world. Yes, I already know who my bride will be. By self-will, they will block their name out of that book in Colossians 2:14, once old, now new covenant. By old stone is now, but he hung on a piece of tree, on a stake, on a tree, and he paid for that, correct, in flesh. And he told you through Paul's writing, wrestle not. He hung from a tree. Does anybody want to hang you from a tree right now? Do they hate you or do they love you? Because if you love by this world, he said, you'll be hated by my Father. You're not here to please this world. To be nice means to be stupid and means you're an idiot. And you don't know. Well, I think there may be a difference between an idiot and stupid. I think that'd be the difference between 1 black eye and 2 black eyes. Is probably the second is you didn't listen the first time, did you? You might listen to the word. Stop listening to this world. He says you can't serve 2 masters. He sends 2 witnesses. I'm telling you, it's these 2 thieves that hang on your crown right there above right there on your head, your halo, high and low. Who's the crown? Who's your king? Can't serve 2 masters. Revelation 3:11, Revelation 9:11. Remember that. Let's go back. Well, that would be after. It's not a book like that. You better go back and study the word. He created man and woman, and then he created Adam and Eve. We're here to serve Father. We're here to serve the word, not flesh, not man, not these traditions of men. Truth always marries a lie. Hadn't you gone through the book? It's a cycle. It never stops overlapping itself. Like the Ouroboros, the serpent eating its own tail, time, and you think time, never stops. Hello, here we go round it. Father is the one who makes all. He's the dynamo, baby. He brings the fire. Eyes of fire, feet of fire, his flesh, feet, burnt, black, burnest in a fire, flames. A voice in many waters, imagine. We're not in deception anymore, children. We're in the age of error. The king is the one who spins the celestial firmament, the time clock piece above your head. He said those who say peace or safety, I hope you're not going by this mammon traditions, this 2025 calendar wheel worship of the Yule, of this Saturn festival of the ring around the rosy, like, hey, it's a stripper, somebody stuffed dollars in this, where are you putting your treasure? You leave it here on this rock, you spend it, ain't gonna be there when after flesh you die. To self, he said to self daily, I pull you to flesh, I, Father, call out to your wicked, fleshy heart. Not one of you would seek after me if I didn't do it. So stop taking credit for it. Father's the writer, the author, creditor, the editor, all things. So there's no such thing as free will. There's no such thing as luck. Stop playing with yourself. Again, that's autonomous, self-driven. Are you plugged in like some electric car? You're only going to go so far, I guarantee you. If you want to endure to the end, if you have to be, hold on, wait a minute. There ain't no such thing as being saved. Listen here, somebody plugs you into some religion, some ism. You have to endure to the end if you want to be saved. Figure it out. That's not that hard. Like a cord, like a stick, like a pole. Got you on a cord, huh? Like a, I'm serious, you got like a dog, huh? Like on a chain. Oh, that's ring around the rosy like a virus, huh? Hold on, everybody stand on the X. Oh, here we go. X. XX marks the spot. So you've been targeted. Well, whatever. You can't serve two masters, remember? There was triple X rated. Pornea, idolatria, no, not hub, not pulling your own chain. You might want to go back and read this book. They'll deceive you by words. Fathers made them to do this. He said, send the four angels and go ahead. Just read the book of Revelation. Read what the four, are you ready for the four angels to come to the four corners of this rock that we walk? Earth isn't below your feet, neither is hell. Heaven is above your head. You can't go to the clock above your head. If they've spun you on the idea that you can go into the stars, you've been sold a lie. You can't go to the stars. If you think we landed on a light, whether you call it why do we only see one side of the lunar phase? I don't think you know anything about the lunar cycle calendar. I don't think you know anything about a sphere, like a heliosphere, like the sun's protection from, the sun's magnetism. Well, we have a magnetus. Are you telling me it's a pole shift? Pole is polarity. Remember, the compass would have to be point to the south. Who are you serving? Where do you put where's your moral compass, at least at that? Because he said, if I didn't call out to the hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. So don't go taking credit for what Father's writings, or he creates everything that ever was, everything that ever will be. So that covers it, right? Do I need to say I create all things? How about that? Everything written, everything not written. Oh, you thought you were going to write it, didn't you? You thought you're going to turn left at your job because you heard some crazy dude on YouTube say 10 years from now, Father thinks I'm going to go left, so I'm going to go right. You think that's how that works? You're probably thinking free will. No such thing as free will. No such thing as luck. You're on some crazy disease or something. Mad cow, maybe. Somebody said cow up there. Heard that. Okay, guys, I got to take this call. All right, thank you, Father, for letting me serve. I'll be back, guys. Links are in the description. If you want to support the ministry, CashApp, PayPal. Thanks for your time. I'll be back. Oh, wow, we're still going. Nice. Army kicks us off there. Cool. All right, we're still rolling. We'll keep going. Apologize. I'm going to get a little more busy in life here now that I have to do what I got to do here. So, again, quick discussion for the last few couple. I'm not sure. It looks like there's two of you still hanging out here. Still got all this worldly stuff to do out here. And purchasing this attorney is, something I've avoided because I didn't want to take and I put my ministry instead of putting money into me. And that in a sense, I don't know, again, because Elijah's, health and welfare and Adriana's were, at risk, but I put all my faith in Father. And so Father will provide, and he will make sure that whatever, again, if Father creates all things, that nothing's happening by chance, and there's no free will, there's no luck. I'm so blessed to know that. I'm so blessed to know that if Father creates all things, then, you know, what do we have to be anxious about, right? So it says, be not anxious. Doesn't seem easy, but it's not supposed to be easy, right? So I'm sure that no matter the result, I'm willing to do this no matter what. I'll put in the long haul. It's tough, but I'm feeling again that Father he'll take care of whatever it needs to be, because there's a bigger thing, much bigger thing going on here at this ministry, and because it's a it's a worldwide ministry with the current age that we live in. We have the ability to have subscriber base and followers from the TikTok platform and here on the several channels that are on this platform. Like that's unfathomable. The eyes and the ears that get to hear this this aletheia, this truth, and it's just really not. I mean, it's the word. It's taught within the word. So it's always a blessing to be able to come in here and share that with others. That's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to hide it. He holds us accountable to know it. We're supposed to go reproof this word with our brothers and sisters. It's always meant to be gone back and fellowship and study. And that's how we find ourselves approved, is by our studies. And it's not like you need to know everything in the world. Father will bring the gospel to your, abyss is no knowledge, to your knowledge. He seek and you shall find, ask and you shall receive, knock. These aren't things of the world. These are the aletheia. These are the understanding. These are the definition. The word aletheia is truth, and you're going to find that by defining the words that are in that book. And not too many people are bringing you to that understanding. And I have an absolute, amazing pastor who's helped me to become more, spend more time. And it's not like I wasn't already spending time, but it was my time, my will, not the aletheia, not the ellipsis, not the Hokadesh, not the Lobos, not that. It's the tribulation gospel, and people don't want that. They want that easy. God loves everybody, and the word love is agape, and that's his law, which we're not under this testament. We're under this covenant of those that are bound not by flesh but by Hokadesh, spirit, Holy Ghost. So I thank Father for that, and I thank Father that he can bring the eyes to this channel, and he's creator of all things. As the original. Let's get this chat back up here. Hold on. What's going on with my chat? Oh, I lost all my messages. All right, guys. I might have to put a chat in the stream, man. I got no chat whatsoever. I might have to restart the stream. Chat filter, top comments. Let's go back to top comments. Okay, hey, we got. All right, we got something. Okay, all right. I think we got something here. I'm not sure. Let's go back to. Boy, this chat is. Thank you, YouTube, for being such a Yahtzee with this channel. But all thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Yeah, well, we need to see a little pullback there, DSW. That's good. I was trying to actually talk with Kevin. I'm not sure when that chat came up. I'm seeing that's the last thing I see is Brother DSW over from Grace and Truth Ministries, the truly the refined channel of this platform. There's not a better channel on YouTube than Grace and Truth Ministries. If you're messing with anything else, you're kind of wasting your time. You got to start with the base. He said, I am the rock. I am the Petra. Don't build your house on sinking sand. And so you can't, if you got it on your own will or your own lame studies, you need to go somebody who loves the word, because Father called out for them. Brother Jim at Grace and Truth, DSW's over there. You're not going to find anybody else that's going to teach you the gospel like Brother Jim. It's just not being taught. And he said, call no man teacher, and teacher is prophet. Brother Jim is not a prophet. He loves the word because Father made him love the word more than the world. And just like Paul and all of us, are a Peter, and Look at all the apostles for your examples on how to fall unto the word to help you, guide you, want to be your compass, that's your moral compass, if you will, is that word. So you couldn't find somebody who loves the word more than Grace and Truth Ministries, Brother Jim. So I'm always blessed to share the gospel with others, as I know Brother Jim, he has no other passion on this rock. I know he loves his wife, Sister Mary, and but no matter what, there's not a better teacher will bring you to the understanding of the Old Testament and to predestination and to the gospel. I mean, the word is not that hard. It really is something that if people truly love the word, Father, again, he calls out to the heart of the bride to seek it. And by definition, they find that word. They find it through definition. That's what Brother Jim said. If you leave definition, you leave the truth. So I always appreciate having brothers and sisters, hear from Grace and Truth, come spend some of their time, because I think your time is very well, even many ways much more. Um, well, I think it's better over there at Grace and Truth. I mean, I can give you a celestial abyss that Brother Jim has no idea. And I'm not calling him lame, but his teaching is not, it's not, the gospel's in the stars, okay? And the 23.5-degree tilt is not the gospel. So other than that, Brother Jim's teachings are completely flawless, because he teaches the whole Kodesh. He teaches the Holy Ghost. He teaches the Spirit, the undefiled, defined. The defined Spirit is truth. That truth is Hokadesh. You understand? That's the same thing. That is the Spirit. The Spirit is creator. The creator was all spoken into existence, and it never existed in the flesh. It's flesh which defiles us. It is flesh that defiles us. It's what makes us, it's this test of our faith. And we do it in a cycle, and we'll get through this one, but this is a very important cycle in the scriptures, because there is only one final seventh shofar, ram's horn, the final trump. That's it. So we're going to come into this we're already in a new age. I don't care about the age. We're already in the new age. We've been in the new age for 5 years. We've already started. Okay, well, that's what you think. You couldn't even define what a fairy is, Weira, because you have no definition. You're a translator. You speak in translators, translation. You're Baphomet translation. You don't know what you're talking about. Tell me what a fairy is, because you don't have any definition in you. That's Hokadesh Alathia. So speak up, or we'll throw you out of here with your little, tales and wonders. Chasing your tail. You're like a dog chasing your own tail, going in a circle like a halo. Halo. You don't know anything about the Hokadesh. You don't have no definition. Alathea. So we'll make an example. Are you just a lame man because you don't know and we can't hold your feet to the fire and hold you to the wall? Or are you just some vessel rat fitted for destruction for the foundation of the world? Those he created from the beginning to test the bride, because you don't have any definition in you. The bride is Hokadesh. They don't go after self-will. You obviously have gone after your own. Pornea, you're self-autonomous driven by your own will, worship, or some, I don't know. You said there's no Jesus, right? I don't believe in a Jesus. Believe is not a thought in your head. Belief is an action word, and Jesus is a translation. You're a translator. You don't even speak in any truth. You wouldn't know what you're talking about if it was like a hole in the ground, like two cheeks to the same hole, two wings to the same dragon. Remember? Careful where you stick your peg and whose round hole there, buddy. Halo, like a round circle, like the serpent, like the crown. You're out of your league, man. Take all you must be religious then. Hold on, wait, you don't believe. So you're do you know believe is not even a thought in your head, you idiot? Once again, you ain't even speaking up. So I 100% now I have pretty good, well, we all have a little bit intuition. There's no such thing as free will, or no such thing as luck, or no such thing as fortune, or no such thing as fairy tales. Because fairy, you couldn't even define tell me what a fairy is. I think you're a fairy there, Fruit Loop. You've been eating that bun cake, that fruit cake. Listen here, fruit cake. You do your wheel worship of your orgy Jesus, your sky daddy Jesus. I think you're out of your league there. Is that weird? I think you're feeling a little weary right now, aren't you? He said, be not anxious. See, you thought you came into some religious. There's no religion in here going on. I rebuke your religion. So are you religious? Did one of these religions steer you in the wrong direction and you're trying to figure it out? But don't worry, Father throws most people in what's known as hell, because you're probably already there. Hell is no knowledge. I don't think you have gained anything. I think you might be an ass. An ass can't learn. An ass is stubborn like a mule. So prove, you don't have to prove anything. Father created the whole thing, but tell everybody in this chat, because we're making an example. This is what he says, shine the light on low energy swine. So speak up. Where I'm trying to, or did you grow weary and run away? Girl, don't go away mad. I can't see your profile. Just go away. Girl is the traditions of men. That's mammon. That's the Jezebel spirit. That's the she. Father doesn't have breasts. Father isn't feminine. Father is I am. Jesus is a translation. You're an idiot. You've already proven that you did it all by self-will on your own. You couldn't even type fast enough to rebuke anything that I said with the alatia or with the horizo or the separator. You have nothing in you. So either you speak the Hokadesh, the Holy Ghost, the true gospel, or you have to go. Like I said, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Girl, don't go away mad. Just go away. Take your little Jezebel spirit, your little fairy, you couldn't even define it. That's a Celtic demon. That's how much you know. Does anybody here remember We're a Land? No, it was Vera. I was just doing some Pink Floyd. My bad. Get him up against the wall. Does anybody watch The Wall? Anybody's like, wow, he was just singing some Pink Floyd. Right, careful, I might get a copyright strike. Don't sing too much. You hear that Harper's Harp? I have not. I can't choose that. That's already been written from the foundation or the wedding feast of the lambs. The Harper's Harp, you know what that is? So tell me what the Harper's Harp is. Tell me what that is. Because if not, you're probably some religious idiot. Goes after some, I don't know, religions are, all of them are vain. It's like I don't think there's any good cops. I don't think there's any good religions. They're not doing what Father, if you're supposed to be a community servant, you're supposed to serve the community, not be a road pirate or a raider or a government, new mystery Babylonian brain waves. You're serving the corporate system. Govern is to control mind controlling them, taxing them. Father hates taxes. Remember, he went outside this covenant of flesh and went back to the old. But that's Father. He's in flesh. He couldn't commit sin. So that wasn't sin. Remember, he turned over the money changer. They were feeing them. Whipped the people, said, fasten the cording. And I'm going to tell you, that was like bar cloth. It was probably like, I can't imagine the thread count on a curtain and how thick that must have been, like sausage or something, ropes, and just whipped the snot out of them for feeing people. So Father hates fees. Okay, so Weir is going to say DNA placed on our core Anunnaki superior void explorers. They will finish us before they will make up next day. Death in the sleep, deeply terrifying. Okay, well, Wera, you have one more chance because I think you're a complete idiot. Tell me what an Anunnaki is. Because I don't think you know what an Anunnaki is. I don't think you use the word. I think you're a Nephilim is what you are. I think you're a demon. Now, I'm not sure if you're into this Yule Celtic wheel worship or fairy tales or none of it. You came in here just speaking crap. It's called feces, dung, and you've made yourself already look like an idiot, and now you're going to act like you know what you're talking about. So we're going to just isolate one word, because see, just you screw up one word, I tell you don't live on a planet, and there's no such thing as earth below your feet, and neither is hell. So before you speak up and say one single word, you might refine what the hell you're talking about. So I want to know because I want to isolate the one word. This is what he tells us to do. This is how you refine people with light, brother. Tell me what an Anunnaki is. I think you're an idiot when it comes to that one, like Anakin Skywalker. Listen here, Anakin Skywalker. Tell me what the word Anunnaki means. Tell me what Anunnaki means. There's only one king. Remember, realistic? Oh, well, there's two. But hey, there were many. Nebuchadnezzar, Solomon. Yes, there were many kings. Father had obviously had rule through good and evil. He creates good and evil. People think Nebuchadnezzar, right? He went after Father. People don't realize they're just idiots. Like this idiot in here. What's his name here? Wera Lynn. Remember? Does anybody here remember Wera Lynn? And they said, we'll someday meet again, some sunny day. All right, do a little more. This formation will be taking place after. Okay, so now you're proving already. I already told you that you're an ass. You have to answer my question if you want to stay in here, because you're acting like swine, low energy. Can't even answer a question. Either turn up your hearing, or you just have a deaf ear, or you're just an ass. One of the three. So you have to speak up. Anunnaki there, Nephilim. I'm calling you a Nephilim now and an ass. So tell everybody what the word Anunnaki means, or you gotta go, child, because I'd like to teach a little more in here. And he said calling them in teacher, so stop being an idiot and layman and speaking up, because you're interrupting the lesson here. Acting like you're an actor with your face diaper, something wearing your whatever. Put your screen on somewhere else. So you cannot define anything. Does anybody disagree that we're is an ass? You've proven yourself to make an ass because you can't define the aletheia of the word Anunnaki. Proven you're a Nephilim. Now I want two definitions. I've given you one, I'll give you two. He said 2 times, and I already should have thrown you out of here, because we're not supposed to sup with low energy. Legion, he said he's legion. Many, you got a lot of bullshit, a lot of lies. And that's marrying truth to lies. So you've done that. So you couldn't even define anything. I gave you one. Now I need 2 words. The definition of Nephilim and the definition of the definition, not Nephilition. Wow, that's a new word. We just did that right now. Thank you. We'll use that again and again and again. Like daily cross, death to self, Nephilition. Okay, so give me the definition of the word Nephilim and Anunnaki, or you got to go. You're just some bumbling idiot rambling with your Babylonian brain waves in here. You have to define in this channel. Go hang out with some religious channel, or hang out some people who believe in ghosts, or believe in Jesus, or believe in the devil. Because I don't believe in the devil, or I don't believe in Jesus. Jesus is a translation, and devil, neither of these words were ever written in the original text. So I don't think you have any idea what you're talking about. So I want the definition of the original text, or get the flock out of Dodge. Okay? There, you separator, the one who causes the sheep to scatter, you scorpizzo, you false teacher, you false prophet. You're guaranteed you don't even know what the abyss knowledge you're talking about. Abyss is hell. Hell isn't below your feet. Hell is no knowledge. Get out of here. You're making an ass out of yourself, proving that you don't know what you're talking about, and let alone you can't even be taught. So either give me the definition of the word Anunnaki or Nephilim, or you got to go. You're proving the word to come to fruition. You're just making an ass out of yourself in here. You stepped out of your league. Not a little, like Big League Chew, but no, hey, Superman, get out of here, Kryptonite. The word's your kryptonite, huh? So look it, can't still define. A lost mind won't understand. Well, a lost mind can't even define the definition of the words they're speaking. So now you're a bumbling idiot, and you're truly proving that you're an ass, and you want to have one of these Babylonian brain waves, because you can't define. That's the word aletheia. So thanks for timing this idiot out. I mean, guys, this is what happens. Father sends these people all the time in your life. If you don't love the word, you're going to reject it. If you don't think that there's something, well, don't worry. Nobody in this channel is going to try to change a single thing about you, but you can't hang out here. This ain't some hangout like, ooh, let's gain numbers and let's blow the channel up and let's make, I don't care about numbers. This is about Father sent you here. Father sent you here to hear something. And if it might not affect you for 10 years from now, 10 minutes from now, or that's not for me to decide. It's not me doing it. It's Father doing it. Father creates all things. How do you think you could come into a chat like this and say Father creates all things, and then go, oh, there's no such thing as Jesus? I know. There's no Jesus, no Sky Daddy Jesus. You know, the Hulkadesh, the truth is I am. He said that in the flesh. You tell them my name is I am. So, hello, McFly. Go somewhere else. Take your little space farce balls back into the future, time march through space in your 2025 wheel worship calendar and go somewhere else. I don't sup with vipers, period. You're a viper if you're not standing up against this perverted clock for one, celebration for two. We're not supposed to celebrate anything. Every day people celebrate. It is because you were so compliant and quiet. You're the silent majority that will go down in history. Not speaking up about children's balls, little children's balls being touched at the airport, and little girl slots, because 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes don't math to me. So you can't even do simple math. You're going to tell me 2 + 2 = 5 now, right? 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes. Like I said, you're causing the sheep to scatter. You want to sit there and play your own little put a mask like everything's awesome, Team America. We are the absolute destroyer of nations. It once was a blessed nation, but now we're the destroyer. By debt, flesh, remember, we put everybody under this Yeah, we rape people like some mafia behavior, making by the swift in a twinkling of an eye. Yeah, by the book. Fine, fee. Father hates these things. Capitalism, Father does not want two-story buildings. Well, no, that's not correct. But, well, pride is to rise above another. So he sure doesn't like the Broadway and the big city lights and the big. Do you live in the city? Get the hell out of the city. What the hell are you doing in a city? You think Father loves cities? Father doesn't like city. Are you raising your own? Are you raising your own food? Or, you're not going to get any chance in that in most cities to even be self-sufficient. Everything's regulated by mandates. I don't go on dates with men. I'm not under an ordinance. He blotted out the handwriting of ordinances, codes. I don't even do it out here with their stupid little. I don't have to ask permission to do anything. I do. I am living the American dream, and you're missing out. As you're being coded and mandated, and you go on dates with men, and you go by ordinances and revise statutes. You're like a dead man just sitting there like some Nimrod statue. Hello there, you're a corpse. You're dead to me, and that's why they took over your birth number if you're in this American. Well, I American, but you America. America, duh, free, duh, da, dum, dum, dum. It ain't about freedom, it's about rights to choose. If there's no victim, there's no crime. Get out of here. Crime is actually a term of accounting. Remember, by the number, he does all these things. So, adios, muchacho. 2 + 2 don't equal 5, and 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes don't math to me. So I don't sup with vipers. And so I check you with my celestial, spiritual, biblical, scriptural, and historical calculator. If it don't add up, he said, don't reject it. Throw it out. Get rid of it. It has to be the aletheia. Don't sup with, you hang out at a trap house, crack house, whorehouse, thinking you're all upright, and you got $10 in your pocket. Pretty soon, you're going to ask the question, what do we get for $10? And she's going to give you the Sir Mix-a-Lot. Everything or anything you want. Ask me. All right. Anyways, that dude just went straight up 90s. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Hey, mixes means to forward, pervert, marry truth to a lie, add, take away. Either way, it's perversion. That is the root of Hebrew. It's forward. You're adding, you're twisting. Are you spinning on a ball, corkscrewing and spinning on a block in the third dimension? Ball or block? Which one is it? Make up your mind there, geometry. Don't mind to me. Mind over matter. You don't mind, and I don't matter. You don't matter. I don't mind. Don't worry about it. You don't get it. Anyways. All right. Hey, you must be as esteemed as a potter's clay. You must turn their works upside down in this interweb worldwide net. What do they got you caught on? Stuck on dumb? Da-dum, dum, dum. And something's wrong with me, eh? All right. That's what they called Noah crazy. Batshit crazy. They call that old man. They scoff, apologize for the cursing. Fell out my face. So anyways, it don't matter, brothers and sisters. You ain't changing anything. Father wrote and created. You're either doing your will, which is the Greek word porneia, or you're doing Father's will. Don't let people complicate this for you. There's no other way. Remember, the only way to the Father is through the Son. It's the word hados. That's the narrow way. The broad way is the way that leads to hell, and your own hell, because the hell is knowledge, and no knowledge is hell. Hell's not below your feet, neither is earth, you idiot. Grow up. You have never supped with the word, and it's obvious because every one of your friends does that. Oh, Earth's a rule, and you've been ruled by a master. Remember, he says the eye is the lamp of the body, and obviously these two witnesses, and you're mixing truth to a lie. Little leaven leavens the whole lump. One bad apple upsets the whole apple cart. Don't be supping with vipers, and don't be hanging out some crack house and think you're upright. And you're not going to ask, for a, yeah, whatever. You sit there and think you're going to, no, I don't think so. That's not how that works. So not everybody just get to be all easy jeezy. That's not Christ. Christ is the word anointed. Remember oil? Remember the eye is the lamp of the body. Focus. I think you're blurred. You got some mixture going on there. You're marrying truth to a lie. And he said, don't do add. Remember, oil and water don't mix. Truth to a lie. That doesn't cut off the mammon traditions of men. So you're a corpse. Stop being a corpse. Stand up. Focus. Start moving. Do I need a little dab oil? So you're like a straw man or a tin man. Oh, I just need a little dab and I'll spring into action. A little dab oil. They get a little stuck on dumb. Too much of that reefer madness there, buddy. Well, whatever. Father created, if it bears seeds, it's here for us. But hey, they were over there 20 years in the desert over opium. No, thank you. Remember? Cleopatra? All right. Hey, remember China? Yeah, they got hooked on it like phonics, didn't they? Worked for me. Stole all their silver. Focus. Here we are again. Debt slaves by corporate debt slaves. They got them working for digits or dollars or zeros or ones on a computer screen or paper payments. Imagine that, a nation that traded its minerals for paper payments. Now, how would you get away with that? Why don't you speak up about that? The Treasury, remember, all money is gold and silver. It's supposed to be minted in gold or silver. Yes, pressed. We're supposed to be put through the wine press, huh? Like a fire to become refined like gold and silver. Imagine that. Not like a dragon's. This is it. Checking out on the prison bus dragons. Remember? The great red dragon with 7 heads. Heads like of state, like Trump's mountains, like a great burnt mountain, like the Watcher's offering of orgy Jesus. I had to go there. You guys are too serious with me. Seriously. Right? Serious? Are you serious like the dog star serious? You don't even understand the celestial firmament clock. You didn't go up to the moon lander there, ISIS. ISS. ISIS. You mean the International Swim Station? Or ISIL, the Islamic State in Levant. Oh, never mind. Oh, Third Temple Mount. Oh, how about that heifer ritual? How come everybody always does that? Nobody cares about the great red dragon, nor do they care about that unblemished, perfect red dragon or heifer horn. Bull, bell, ball. Stop playing with your ball, bell, bull. Ding. Hey, let's ping. We'll make a ding. We'll ping some silver. And we'll ping some gold. Remember, you'll know them by their fruit. Wave, millimeter wave, 60 gigahertz, 5G whiz. Imagine a bell made out of the gold. Silver. A nation that traded its minerals for paper payments, and these are a bunch of smart people living in the Americas, boys. Definitely not as dense as that gold, is it? There you go. There you go. Hey, where are we going? We're going to gold. Oh, you must his bees esteemed as the potter's clay. You must burn their works upside down like gold. Gee, I wonder where they're taking us. You should read all this here. It's been there for a long time. Me love you long time. Remember Sir Mix-a-Lot? Sir Mix-a-Lot? Baby's got back. Oh, never mind. Buttermilk biscuits. Here we go. Sift the flour, roll the dough. What's dough? Like money? Like dough? Money's gold and silver. Okay? It's not paper payments or a digit or a 01. You are a digit. Digital, get down. All right. Man, never ping gold. That's got a ring to it. And that's actually not even that's not even pure because that's a Cougaran and that's got some copper in it. So I've never pinged the old Canadian maples. So anyways, all right, let's get back because gold and silver don't matter when you die. You can't take none of these things with you, but we must be refined, he said. How do you think it gets to this purity that it is in this form right here? You think this by just chance by Stevie Wonder? I'll make you see why Stevie had to wonder. You see what I'm saying? All right, anyways, so you guys are, I'll be the crazy guy. I'll be crazy, crazy, crazy for being so like somewhere over the rainbow. Oh, wait, toys in the attic. I am crazy. Truly gone fishing. They must have taken his marbles away. Crazy. Over the rainbow, I am Loco in the cabeza. Imagine a bell made out of gold. The man's nuts. Grab him. This is spiritual nuts, okay? Like Noah, that voice inside his head. Keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands inside the ride until it comes to a complete alto. Stop. What's your sign? Stop sign. Get it? That's my sign. Here's your sign. Deep-de-dee. Paper payments. No! We'll just keep letting them keep mint or print. There's a difference between mint and print, isn't there? They get you fooled. Mint or print. Oh, a nation that traded paper. Oh, minerals for paper payments. And we don't care. Like Jimmy Crack Corn with your corn syrup god. Eat corn syrup food. Everything's got corn syrup, everything. Remember corn? Hey, I am the great Corn Julio. Are you threatening me? Never mind. Sorry about that. What happened to Beavis? He like 27 candy bars and drink like a 6-pack of root beer. Come on with your pants down. Sorry about that. Oh, man, I just went straight 80s again. Man, I'm just stuck in this time warp, man. I've been Mandela affected. Like the butterfly or like the placebo. Oh. Hey, that's a pretty strong, man. Like alcohol, he said they'd be punched drunk of the world, of the things of these traditions of men. Mammon traditions of men. So you must be refined like gold and silver and let him put you through the fire and the trials. I can't get a fair trial, man. What's up with that? It's all right. I'll figure it out. I got an attorney. So, okay, guys, I'm going to make a quick mention. You guys, this right here is the money that I'm hoping in 6 months will buy the property in Ecuador, so we can have a South American and a North American ministry, and we'll try to extend out from there. But I want to take it from North America, Father, please, if it is your will, be done, to South America to tithe the ministry food, organic food, 4 or 5 people. Start thinking about moving to Ecuador. I might even buy the land and never go there. Seriously, there may be a possibility. Father's in control of the wheel. Remember, he's the one steering the ship. He's the wind in my sail. He's the one who gets me up off my 4th point of contact every day and makes me do these things. So I could be doing a lot of other things, but this is what he's got me doing at this point. So this is about $13,000 right here in gold that I'm trying to hold on to, because I think by the end of the year, I'll be able to take this right here and buy the Ecuador property with this right here. So if you can help this ministry out, this is your chance. Don't tithe anything into the ministry at all if you don't have abundance. Okay, we got 2 cash apps earlier, and that was awesome. And I got 2 or 3 super chats. So the super chats will definitely go towards the ministry, because I won't be able to put those towards the legal funds. And if I can retain this gold and silver, as opposed to putting $15,000 plus to the side, now in paper, it's not going to gain anything. They're going to just keep printing money. It's going to lose its value. This has value. This is going to keep its value. And if you've been watching gold and silver, it's been moving around a lot. So I'd like to hold on to this if I can, like I said, and if not, it's fine. I'm willing to give this up because I need to help my son. There's a bigger thing. I have a missing son and daughter. Not trying to play on your heartstrings. I maybe should have done this before. But instead, this is $47,000 for this 20 acres. I've been paying on it for 10 years or whatever, but I took the final years, 10 payments, and paid off the ministry instead of getting myself an attorney. And I feel comfortable about doing that. Would I go back and change it? No. I feel kind of weird because I know my son's been suffering, but I have to let the process of the judicial system do what it's going to do. So now I realize that I have several civil lawsuits that I'll be able to place against Lake County Sheriff's Office, the state of Oregon. I will be seeking a lawsuit against the federal government as well, not to try to make myself rich. When I do this, I'll try to make, and I've already made the statement very clear, that I'll be supporting Grace and Truth Ministries. I'll send half of these settlements to Grace and Truth. I want Brother Jim to be able to buy a building so he doesn't need to keep spending that 33,000 or 30, I don't know, 35, 36, I don't know what he pays. It's a lot of money. He lives in Hendersonville, that's right by Nashville. It's a grip load of money to rent that classroom that he rents out. It's like some, conference room in a building. It's expensive, but it's essential. But he also ties in $1 million worth of tithes. He pays 5 salaries to include, he takes a salary. He has, himself. I have everything paid off. Father has blessed me in ways because I don't live where he lives, and I do what I do here. But I could take the tithes from this ministry and push half of them as the plan. So if Father's will be done, you will see that's what I will do with the money. I will fund half of this will go to Grace and Truth. And less of it's going to go here because I'm going to take a portion of that for my own retirement so that I can travel the world and go to every continent. I want to go to all 180 countries, every one of them. And I want to sit down because there are people from every country and not necessarily faith, because I don't do that. Remember, there's only one faith, but the body that I know is worldwide. And I would love to sit down, if Father so wills, this by Father's, not of my own, to do that. And I'll have that ability to do that because I'll be able to use the lawsuit settlements, which I know I can win. Father's will be done. If he doesn't want it, won't. But I know when you hit me in the face with a grenade, that's a Fourth Amendment civil violation. It's also criminal. So I'm going to be placing a civil and criminal lawsuit against the state of Oregon because it's excessive force. There are times where cops screw up and they do a bad job, and that happens. And in this case, they did a horrible, horrible, horrible job, and they broke the law, and they used excessive force and almost murdered me. I mean, hitting somebody in the face with a grenade could definitely cause brain damage, and I could have hemorrhaged out, which I was leaking blood on the live stream here on the live. It started coming out of my face, and I wasn't talking about my medical problems. I know I was having issues, but I was trying to keep some of these things under wrap, like the stroke. My whole eye, my whole face ended up, from out here, and I didn't say anything until the viewers brought it to my attention. Look, you're not hiding this. What's going on with you? We looked at the older streams, and something's happened to your face. Why does your face look different? Well, because I got hit in the face with a grenade, and I suffered a stroke. My whole right side is all weird, and I feel like a robot. And my right side is like hearing is not. It's not the same. My eye, I'll never, unless maybe I can have some. I don't know if that's LASIK, because I talked to somebody, have go in and from the flash of my eye remove all that black that's in my eye now. From the scarring that's on my retina from hitting me in the face with a grenade. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not gonna worry about what I can't change. I live with this now. I've gotten used to it. It's not killing me at this point. And what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. But I should eventually get into a doctor and have my lungs checked out, because the 5 tear gas canisters, I remember when John was looking at the attorney at the tear gas canisters, he just kept looking at them like, because there was 5 of them shot into this. So it's all excessive force, and eventually there will be lawsuits placed. But I have to take care of the criminal lawsuit first, which hopefully locate my son. I'm very, knee deep into this home investigation. And so I'll be continuing the conversation with counsel at this point in time, but it's not cheap, guys. I've hired one of the most expensive attorneys in the state of Oregon. I have to do that for me, and I have to do that for my son. The price is irrelevant at this point. And I think it's going to end up costing more money than just this, retainer. But we'll see. If the state of Oregon won't be stupid, I might actually settle some kind of off thing that says I won't sue if they'll drop every single charge. They already dropped Adriana's charges. If they'll drop my son's, drop mine, and just, they already have a massive criminal suits for not going and getting my passport, not getting my medal. And I reported that my son and daughter were kidnapped, my daughter potentially raped, and my son. I just reported this, guys, in open court on the 7th. I reported that my son has potentially been murdered, and nobody will look into this. So I have to do this for Elijah. And the price is it's irrelevant to me. It doesn't matter. I'll have to sell everything. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to be listing my motorcycle at half price of what I had it. I'm gonna lower the price. I pulled the flatbed off because I wanted to save it for the ministry, but it's got to go. I've got, you know, I could probably get a flatbed, even though it's worth two of these. Like when I got this one for the Jeep, I'll take what I can get. I'm not, I didn't get to these pieces of silver and gold here because I sat around and did nothing. I do a lot of work off. I fix things and trade. I've been in a little bit of a lull here because I've been doing a lot of work for the ministry, but I'm also doing, a lot of other things. I'm fighting the state of Oregon. They're trying to throw me into 6 felony charges, and that could land me more time in prison than my son even originally was looking at, whether he's alive or not. I mean, I still have to face that. So I have to take care of this criminal case. They had appointed 2 attorneys that have done nothing. They didn't look into anything. They didn't tell me anything. They didn't provide me any counsel. So they've definitely violated my right of due process and my right to fair and speedy trial and adequate counsel under my Miranda rights. I know my rights, but many of these rights are civil rights. Okay. So I have to take care of the criminal portion of the case. I'm involved looking at 6 felony charges right now, and I have to get this taken care of. So what I'm trying to do is I could take this money right here, which is money, and put it towards that bill. But I really like to hold on to this gold and silver that I have here and put it towards the ministry in Ecuador. Because I think if I can hold these things and make it through this case, which hopefully won't take long, and it's going to take a process to file civil lawsuits, but I don't think that those are things that I can show them. The evidence speaks all for itself. The evidence speaks all for itself. So I do, again, feel comfortable that these civil lawsuits will be settled out of court, and that's how it's going to work. And this is not going to take, it's already been 14, almost 15 months, and nothing has been done. So I've had to hire a paid counsel, which I didn't want to because I'm trying to take, this. Why should I take the ministry money and put it towards counsel when that could be purchasing another ministry or purchasing more things for the ministry here? So I don't want to spend, the money on, like I said, myself, and I should have maybe taken ministry money and spent it on myself. That's my biggest problem is that I don't take care of my own issues. And I've been told this since I was a teenager, that I'm too worried about everybody else and everybody else's problems, and I create my own problems. And this case is a perfect example. I didn't have a record. I'm a veteran out here living by myself, and I had all the precious metals that I needed to retire and the passport and get out of here. Instead, I stayed here for my son. I stayed here because I took an oath to the Constitution. I stayed here because I know nobody else would look for my son and daughter, or even at that time wasn't look for him, would stand up for my son. I have proof that not only did my son go do this community service that he was supposed to do, but my daughter went and volunteered her own time with her husband, to support him. So I'm not going to let that not be heard. She was working 7 days a week, guys, 7 days a week. So I've got to get this case taken care of, the criminal aspect of it taken care of. So I have to do this. I don't want to, but this is just, they won't provide me counsel. You heard what they did to me in open court. They almost threw me back in jail the other day because I'm saying my son was murdered. He said that was nutty. And when I said it's nutty to say that my son and daughter could be murdered in the county that he is a seated judge in, shows guilt and shows foul play. And I do think that I'm not going to be wrong. Something's not right with Elijah. Whether he's dead or alive is irrelevant at this point. The fact is they never went for call for service to look for his dead body or kidnapped body, or the 40 pounds of silver and the gold and the passport, which is a federal offense, shows the negligence and the criminal activity of the Josephine County Sheriff's Office. And I'll have a separate lawsuit for what they did that day to me. I will have a separate lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? They were trying, weren't they? You heard him. He wanted me to, I think they thought they were going to get me for contempt before I even went there. I think that's why they sent their big gun in there. I think this Josephine County I hadn't looked up too much. And once I found out he was from Josephine County, I was done. I knew there's foul play involved. You don't send a judge from 4 hours to a totally different, county, 4 hours away. That means he got up at like 3 or 4 in the morning to come out here. That ain't no slouch. And then he didn't even know, the name of the district attorney. Paul, is it Charis? Is that how I pronounce? He didn't even know. It's like he never even talked to him. You know what I'm saying? And I've got to do this, guys. I have to do this, and I appreciate it. I don't mean to lean on this ministry, but I've already now spoken with a couple of people off the ministry and said, look, I've got to do this. There may just be that one person. It might just be one person that hears this that'll be able to respond and say, hey, you know what I'm basically doing is I'm buying that future ministry in Ecuador. I mean, you have, all I have is my word, but you have my word. If somebody helps me with this legal fund and I have this, as soon as this price gets where I can buy it, I'll buy it immediately with this metal. I'm not going to use this for me. If I put it to the side to hold it, as soon as the price of this rises, which it will, the price of dollars is not going up, guys, at all. You know what I'm saying? We're losing our purchasing power every single day. So this is, like I said, this is a chance for people. I do appreciate. I was able to get, a couple few super chats, which is awesome because that's ministry money down there. I can't use that for legal fund, and that's fine. AdSense takes 30% of it. That's why I shut off the monetization of the channel. I don't want people to spend, their $10 and YouTube get every $3 that you spend of your 10. That's a lot. That's a huge percentage. Plus 30+% AdSense takes out. So that's why I demonetized the channel. There's enough followers. I've gone through the whole thing and I could turn on monetization, but hey, you don't have to watch commercials and we're not giving that 30% to YouTube. Appreciate it. So that's why I have links for PayPal and Cash App in the description. That way you're not going to give any, and the fees are, much less through YouTube. And that way it puts money directly into something that I can immediately, if I needed to, put it towards purchase it, So I appreciate it, guys. Like I said, it's been a long year, and maybe I should have taken that, ministry money and purchased and purchase the attorney sooner. But you're supposed to let the law do what it's supposed to do, right? And I mean, I've done everything. I've complied. I've tried to let them, and they won't do anything. So I've been, and this is Father doing it. So I'm not like, oh my God, I got to spend on whatever. This is what Father wants. So if nothing comes in anymore, hey, that's fine. It's totally okay. You can still come here every single time. I'm going to continue because I have about a week or less. Well, 3 days because it's Tuesday by Friday to make this payment. And I've already signed all the paperwork and everything, but I kind of, promised to pay. And so I need to have as much as I can. And if I just secure one piece and I can keep this piece right here, that's fine. But I know that these pieces of gold in 6 months from now will probably have double in value because of everything that's going on. We're running into some really interesting times in the economic. If they turn on those inflation creation machine, that could make gold go back down, but I think it's going to run up. I think people are going to say no more, and that's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. I mean, gold is sitting at an all-time near high. Silver has almost reached its 1980 high with the premium. So these metals are moving quickly, and the average Joe hasn't even got into the market. Wait till the average Joe can't afford a piece of gold because it's $10,000 an ounce. See, there's the ministry right there. There's the South America ministry right there. If that's the price of it, there it is. And it could go to that. And if it doesn't, that's okay. I'll take wherever it's at, where I'm at in that point in time. That's a nice thing. It's like I've suspended the hard-earned money that I've worked for and stored it in a vault. Now that's all stored up. All the hard work that I've ever done is right here now stored into this labor. It's all here. And I can release all that energy from my work and my labor out of these, monetary units, even though I know they're not monetary units at this time because I don't think that gold and silver are money. But, and I do have a sneaking suspicion that if I contacted the people about the land that I'm trying to purchase in South America, I haven't contacted them yet, that they will take silver or gold. They'll take gold. I'd almost guarantee they'll take gold because it's through a legit company and stuff. And I'm almost certain if I said, hey, contact the owners, you know, I'll secure this shipment to you. You know, we'll take picture, we'll make sure that it's sent, you know, it has an insurance on it, and I'll send you this payment in gold. And I'm almost certain they'll take it, guys. So that's why I'm hoping I can hold on to it for another, you know, I wish I had a little more time, and that's okay. I just, you know, I don't want to come in here and try to grift you and make you feel like you have to do anything to be a part of the ministry. It's just, I'm just hoping there'll just be one ear, like I said, that would hear it, and we'll be able to bless this ministry here to allow me to put this into a holding pattern so that I can see gains in this where I just see loss in $1. Because I know I could put the same amount of dollars in this. I've already gained in a sense. I mean, I lost obviously on the Jeep, but it's okay. I will make up. It will make itself up eventually. Like I said, precious metals are moving dramatically. Again, gold is at an all-time high. Gold is an indicator of chaos. There are many times throughout, you know, our historical record that gold moves. People move to the safe haven asset. Gold and silver have always been money. Always, always. Gold and silver have always been money. So when people don't trust the system, they pull their money out and they put it into something that's been trusted for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never gone to zero. So, um, again, I'm gonna make a mention of it, and I'll get off of it here. Um, if you've been looking to a chance, you know, not a chance, nothing happens by chance or by luck to make it tied to the ministry, or you know somebody that might be able to tie to this ministry that thinks this is worthwhile to have this South American property, I can purchase the property and never even go down there to South America, guys. You know, if I never put boots on the ground down there, that'd be okay too, because I'm really not trying to purchase that ministry for me. I'd love to go down there. I love the Hispanic culture. Like I said, I've traveled out of the country, you know, but I'd love to go further south than I have. And there's beautiful country down there, the pyramids, the mines. There's just so much to see just in South America. But let alone that, I'd like to hopefully eventually travel, you know, and go to all 180 countries, because this is a worldwide ministry. It's not just, you know, in one location in some singled out church made by hands or a block or a building. So the most high must have knew something when he said he doesn't dwell in temples made by hands. I love that. You know, in this modern age that we live, we can all come together as one body from each 180 countries. I'm certain of the 21,000 subscriber. I apologize, my eyes killing me. Stop rubbing it, it'll be all right. That there's subscribers in every country. We have subscribers from every country out of the 21,000 people on this, and then the backup channels here, the other channels, and then the TikTok, you know, back channel and backup channel over there. You know, we're looking at 50,000 people, and I think we can cover all 180 countries with that, you know, 50,000 plus subscriber follower base. That's an amazing thing. I feel so blessed to have that. Um, as a beautiful resource to come in and share with others and have the chat and just conversate, you know. Um, Although I do isolate myself in many ways in life, I don't, by coming on here and continuing to keep the dialect open. Don't just sit there and shut myself out. Like Brother Jim said, you can't just sit there and stay by yourself, man. You love the word and that's awesome, but you got to fellowship with your brothers and sisters that are in the narrow way. You need to stay in contact. Don't just drop off the face of the earth. That's not how Father wants us to be. Um, he wants us to reproof the word and to find the word with others. And so I'm so thankful for the blessing of this ministry to have this, you know, ability to come in here and share the word with you guys, and then you share it back with me, and us just keep refining ourselves. And I know I'm a lot of people thrown out of here, but hey, that's the way it works. We're not supposed to, again, you know, the man said he was legion, he was many. We're not supposed to sup with vipers or cast our pearls before swine. Low energy, that's a demon. Well, that's a deity. Somebody believes their own lies. Father is the truth. You can't defile Father's words. If you do, that's idolatry. And we've all done it. Your biggest enemy is you. You know what I'm saying? Your biggest enemy is you. So what a blessing, like I said, this ministry is to have them come in here and share it in extremely one of the most roughest times ever in my entire existence in this meat suit going around this time, that I have this ability to share and contact, because I live in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's coming to my house. I really have never really had anybody come visit me, and nobody really ever did through all the years. It just not for any extended period of time. Not at this property, not in the last 10 years. And I've lived away from my family because I was a veteran and whatnot. But this is in the same state, you know what I'm saying? Actually, the only time that my family came here was to steal all my stuff. My younger brother came and took everything from here. Isn't that ironic? The only time I could get any family, and he's really not family because whatever, I'll do blood family, but you know, cool. Right on. Silver's a good call. I think silver, again, I'm not giving any economic advice, but you know, you can buy 90 ounces of silver right now, or 1 ounce of gold. You know what I'm saying? You could buy 90 of these guys. 90. This has always been like 15 to 1 on average. 8 to 1 is God's ratio. For every 1 ounce of this comes out of the ground, 8 ounces of this comes up with it. It's a byproduct. Silver's a byproduct of mining base metals, copper, zinc, ore. I'm a silver bug, not a gold bug. I only bought this to secure, and I didn't buy it. Remember, I traded. All the gold that I have, I traded for. That's awesome, guys. That's pretty neat. You know, like I said, there's right now, and I feel like I put a lot more work into it than that when I think about it that way. But, you know, there's $13,000 worth of gold right there. And I traded for that, guys. All of that. I mean, I have money into it with some purchase, but these are all, none of this was bought from ATMEX. I didn't buy any of these offline. All of them I traded for. I love that. All the gold that I have for the ministry, I worked through trade. There's no taxes paid on any of this. This is a beautiful thing, guys. This is a beautiful thing. This was not taxed. None of this was taxed. Government, my one witness here. Here are my two witnesses. But anyways, isn't that a beautiful thing, guys? No taxes were paid to obtain these metals. I worked by the sweat of my brow, by trading, fixing things up. I already told earlier on this earlier stream how I came into this first piece of metal right here. Was, you know, trading, all trade, and every one of these other pieces came by trade. And that's amazing. I actually have another 10th ounce piece over there, which is a pretty neat piece. So let's look at that too. That's an American Eagle, small, but oh man, I might need to get something to eat here pretty soon. Town, but I didn't get tacos because I want to spend money. I don't want to spend the last $10 that I have. I only have $10 more to my name. That's okay. I have some money in the CashApp account, but I'm not going to use that. I have some silver. Actually, I have some quarters. And dimes, change. But I'll use it. It all spends the same. I don't think I'm going to spend my pennies. So. But here's the last piece of gold that I have, which is another. This is a 10th ounce gold, 2001 $5 gold American Eagle. Hey, that's spin around the wrong way. Let's see if we can get her to spin around. I don't want to go. Spin around there, you goopy thing. Okay, I think is that the right way? Or is that the right way? Oh, now she's upside down. You're upside down, lady. There we go. Now it's right side up. Oh, my camera's garbage. My camera's garbage. A Walking Liberty Gold Eagle 2001 American Eagle $5 piece. $5. $5. $5 no holler, me love you long time. So that's my last piece of gold. So there's all the gold I have, and even this one I traded for. Didn't pay taxes on this. Didn't, you know what I'm saying? That's awesome. All this was done by trade. All of this was done by trade. So there we go. Thank you, Father, for being a horse trader. Thank you for working hard and by the sweat of my brow and use my brain skull, and look at that. Heck yeah. So once again, if Father so chooses, somebody be able to bless the ministry. So maybe somebody random will come in and we'll see. So don't feel obligated. Again, obviously, there should be enough here to pay the attorney bill, but I think this would be better spent on purchasing the property in Ecuador. You know what I'm saying? I'm a homesteader, so you know I live off the grid. So I carry my water, I produce all my power. I don't live the lifestyle that you live with. You know, most people with, you know, just the normal on the grid flipping. I mean, I have light switches and everything, but so my life is normally, and I'm a homesteader, so my life is normally filled with animals, but I don't have any of the livestock out here right now. So, but my life has been filled up with live streaming, trying to find my dead potentially or kidnapped son, and that's what my life has been consumed with, obviously, and then building out here and doing what I do, and so I have a very different lifestyle than most people. So maybe someday it'll come to a head and I can take and use my time just for the ministry. No more legal battles with the law and whatever. And I can 100% focus all my time towards the ministry. And I'd love to do that someday. I'm close. You know what I'm saying? I spent a lot of time working on the ministry. So what a blessing. What a blessing. You know, it is to be able to have it. It'll get taken care of either way. And no matter what happens, good, bad, ugly, you know, I think the state of Oregon has kidnapped him through Marshall Radonich. Somehow he's gotten involved and kidnapped my daughter. And because of precious metals, because I gave, you know, him the ability to go into my safe and get the gold out of my safe to pay for my son to get bailed out of jail because they were wrongfully prosecuting him, and I have all the proof, and I have all, that I had to bail my son out. And this guy ended up taking all my retirement because my retirement is in silver. The gold was a bonus, just a bonus. Even my son, he's like, Dad, what do you have gold for? We never had gold. Why would you buy gold? We're silver bugs. We're not gold bugs. I said, son, believe it or not, I have some Bitcoin now. Remember, I said I never even get any. I have just a little tiny bit of it, but you got to diversify, man. You know, we grow up, and so I think that Marshall has got greedy, and somehow, because it's all lies when it comes to this guy that my son and I knew, and he just never come forward with any truth since the time of my son's arrest. Actually, before, he said he could hide my son and daughter in these gold mines that he had, and I think that's where my son and daughter has ended up. And I do think that I have reported this to Josephine County, and they wouldn't even go get him at the location where he's supposedly at and has an arrest warrant for his arrest. Sent him into prison for 7 years for something he didn't do, doesn't, whatever, but he's, just missing. Oh, wait, they know where he's at, but they won't go get him. I don't believe that for 1 second. I had 40 pounds of silver at that location. And I think my gold and silver was never spent by Marshall. I don't think he ever, and I already had the last attorney try to look into this, that if he would have reported the sales of that silver or gold between my daughter and son, I'd be able to tell if they'd paid. I don't think he did. I think he had the cash to begin with, and he just used it, put it to the side, and has been using it ever since. It's just something that I didn't, I told him, hey, one day I'm going to talk to my daughter. You said you had this silver the whole time. I'm worried about you driving it back and forth because you say it's in your car getting stolen. You never say that, but now you tell me, you know, 6, 8 months later that she had it and you didn't have it. And that's not what I have. All the emails saying you have it. I have messages. You're the one who said it, and now you're changing your story. Well, one day I'm going to speak to my daughter. Should have never said that. Was it unbeknown to me? That might have been the motive he needed right there to kill my daughter or kidnap her, because I said, one day I'm going to find out if you took the 40 pounds of silver and gold and cash, and I just got my dog and left after that too. I said, I'm not going to argue with you about this, because my dog was in deplorable condition, just absolutely. Should have taken him to and taken pictures of him, on his condition. It was just absolutely horrible. And this guy is supposed to be, you know, took my dog out of here because he was choking because of the tear gas and choked for weeks afterwards. But none of his story adds up. My daughter's car ended up at his house, 4 or 5 hours away from where my daughter lived. And my son's car was there. It disappeared. He said my son bought the car from him, which was some little yellow Toyota. So you don't go on the run from the cops in a yellow Toyota. I don't think so. So I don't believe it. I think it's all a bunch of nonsense, and I know that eventually one day it'll come out in the wash. And if they get away with it in this lifetime, when we all face judgments at one time, they won't get away with it then. So I don't seek vengeance after no man. I've been maimed, literally, assaulted, battery, menaced, harassed, destroyed this property, assault. And again, it's just attempted murder. I think if somebody's going to look at this, I'm going to go after these cops for an attempted murder. So that's my focus right now, is to get the attorney, John Caligo, to file criminal charges in this case against the Lake County sheriffs and the Oregon State Police for what they did to my son, my daughter, and now both of them are missing. And this shouldn't have never happened this way. This could have been taken care of at the beginning with just a little bit of communication, a little bit of police work. So I'm doing the best that I can. Like I said, at this point, I'm not thinking about myself. I've already have this gold, and if I can secure the gold, I'll pay it off. I worked for all of that. I worked hard to get all that gold. Okay. Like I said, none of it, I paid no taxes on none of that. That was all made by trading and fixing things and bartering, every one of it. That one single piece of gold that I showed you, that's about $13,000 worth of gold right there. I'm still about 2,000 short, which I have some silver, and I don't want to, I don't have a ton of silver, but all my silver got taken from me. So I don't, when I traded, most people don't have silver, but they'll have a little bit of gold, or, and so that's how I was able to come into that. So again, this is what I was saying. I'm going to get off here in a minute and get myself something to eat, and I'll come back on here and we'll respike the algorithm and talk about it again. But if you've ever wanted to help out the ministry, this would be your chance. I'm trying to take, even if I just keep just this one piece, that'd be great, because this could go up a lot. See, that's what I know, is that if I can hold this gold that I have for about 6 months, I think I'll be able to pay the whole ministry off, which is almost $40,000 with the, the gold that I showed you. So we'll see. If I can't, then I'll cash it out and I'll give it to the attorney to pay for the thing, because I'm still going to file a civil lawsuit. And the civil lawsuits are going to be, those aren't going to be small cases. I'm not going to lie to you. I think we're looking at hundreds of millions of dollars in lawsuits for as many civil violations, how many times my civil rights were violated. And if I can prove criminal behavior, Buck, if you can't, don't worry about it, Buck. It's no big deal, man. I don't want to. Remember, I said, no, I don't. Remember, I paid the ministry off. I took $47,000 and paid the ministry off. Instead of helping myself, helping my son, or helping my missing daughter or son, which I have a little bit of guilt, but it is what it is. I'm trying to let the system do what it's supposed to do. Okay. We're supposed to allow the process, and 14, almost 15 months now without him doing anything is enough. I have to take this money that I was going to pay the ministry off with and put it towards this legal bill, because I've got to take care of this criminal case. They're going to throw me in prison if I let, just, you witnessed the other day, they were just going to have a trial. What ministry? What are we in? Harry Potter times? No, these aren't Harry Potter times, you idiot. That's some stupid movie. Okay, take your Lord of Rings, your little Halo worship, and get out of here. Andrew, this is way beyond your comprehension. There's real things going on in this world right now, and you apparently are more into television, and your little Halo worship. So take your little cock rocket ring, whatever, your little gold ring, okay, and get the flock out of Dodge there, okay? Trying to do real things here, trying to support a worldwide ministry, okay? Worldwide. Not your little television, little reindeer games, your little, I'll get you, you little dog. Oh, wait, that was, what is that little, I don't know. I've never watched the movie Lord of the Rings ever once. Don't even, I understand what it's about. So, but anyways, so I'm saying, Buck, don't. I'm hoping seriously. Remember last time, Buck, I said, I need a big donor. I need somebody to come up that's got, I'm looking at, 20 some $1,000 more than, that I need to pay this ministry off with. And I got to pay it in one payment, because this guy's going to save me, like a couple years of payments to help the ministry. So I, like I said, I sold this property over here next to me, which was part of the ministry. I had the title for it. I sold it. I came up with the money, and instead of getting the attorney, I paid the ministry off, so that maybe one day you'll show up here, Buck. Maybe, I don't know, fathers will be done, and you'll be able to live here cost free. That's the whole idea, was the ministry. I've been talking about that with several people. I'm so glad that if I die, something happened to me, that the ministry can still serve without me being here. It's paid off. There are people who could, if it's the right, could show up and have a place to stay. A lot of people are just struggling to get by right now, and this place has been paid off. Now we need to make more improvements out here to make that happen, but there is living quarters here. It is possible to exist out here with little to no cost, and that's a blessing. So I like to share those blessings and take this same type of mindset of growing food here, because I need to grow it below the ground and grow it in a place where I can take a seed, spit it on the ground, and it'll grow, because it's right on the equator. It frosts out here one day a month, even during the summer months. It'll get down into a freezing, so your gardens are done if you don't have them covered. I want to purchase that property down there for the ministry, so we can tie back all these fruits and vegetables. I want this, actually, that's probably what we're going to take portion. If this does happen, we're going to definitely make this organic. I want to go back to the old ways. You guys do you, but I want to go back to the old ways. Now, I'll use modern technology. People would call me like a high-tech redneck, if you will. You know what I'm saying? I use the modern technology, but I'm more of a farmer. I like the organic lifestyle, I like the old ways. The old ways are better than the new ways. I don't like the new ways. That's why my house looks the way it looks. That's why this ministry was built the way it looks. It looks like an old country western, like a country movie set. The buildings have that. They're all fronted. Everything the cabin was built to have that look. I mean, every one of these boards, this board's probably hundreds of years old right here. It's a very long, old, and some of these are a lot longer than they look here. It's not a 6-inch board. That's bigger than a 6-inch board. That's like a 10-inch. A little deceiving. Some of these boards are very deceiving on the actual. You probably think they're like 2x4s. There we go. So that's what I want to go back to. You know what I'm saying, Buck? I want to go back and get this ministry back to organics. I want people to stop eating genetically modified corn syrups and monosodium glutamate. I want to grow the food here and eat the food that we grow. And if not, we can trade with others that can. And so I can make that happen like crazy in Ecuador. Ecuador is not, it's so much easier to grow food here. You know what I'm saying? Right? No, I can't. I have to go under the ground. There I can grow right out on the land, and there's already 20 different fruit trees growing on the property right now. Right now. And I'll put more. It's 2 hectares, so it's 5 acres. I could add to what's there. There are open spaces and stuff. There's water. There's a spring. At the neighbor at the top, he's allowed, and they want a co-op, if you will. I mean, they want to be friendly. They want friendly neighbors. They really don't want somebody who's just trying to do nothing, and they will, but they that's why they allow that 1.5 inch water spring to come down on that property, because they're already helping. There is already another spring down below, but I have to pump that water up. These people are already just letting it come down. So I bet you if I had a neighbor below me, why would I not do the same thing? Right, Buck? If there's, and this is sitting at 46 or 4,800 feet or 5,600 feet or something like that, right? If this guy's letting me use the water on my property and I got water on my lower spring at the water, why wouldn't I let my lower neighbor, if I ever had a neighbor move in, use my water down there? You know what I'm saying? So that, you know what I'm saying? A co-op, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Everybody cooperating. And that's what it's already advertised like that, guys. The neighbor wants to be resourceful. They want to see a flourishing, thriving, organic. See, this property is totally, the reason why I focused in on this is not impossible to find, but this one is a real treasure. It's never been fertilized by anything other than that's been grown right there on that property. It's never had an outside fertilizer source. So I know I'm literally growing on an organic land that's never been modified by genetics or fertilizers, or I can literally grow on an organic base. That's hard to find these days, guys. That's very hard to find. So I've passed up on a bunch of them. I've looked, I've been eyeing this property for 3 years. I kind of already, like I said, I wish I would have bought it because I had money to buy it years ago when it was 18,000. Now it's 39 or 38. So it's doubled in price. But they put in a fish pond. They put in an above ground pool. They put in a driveway that goes right next to the cabin now. I mean, it was a long trek to get up to the cabin from that other road down. Now that road, they put it past the neighbors. That's what I'm saying. It's all a big co-op, huge, big entrance to the place, nice, big, built out of the ground, everything there. You guys would look at the house and go, oh my God, dude, that's crazy. You'd live in that? Yeah, that's how they live down there. That's how they live. Almost everything in that house was built off of the land too. Most of the boards that go down the rafters are kind of, they're milled, but they're all, they're not perfect 2x4s. They're actually milled out of what was there. You can tell a lot of it was done by hand. So there's a 2-bedroom, which I want to bring Kevin down there as well, because he wants to grow as well. He's a farmer. He did that for a lot of his life. I mean, he's done many things, but he knows how to farm. And I think that's why Father sent Kevin to me. So when we get that farm going down there, he's just going to be in absolute heaven down there. He'll just be all organic, and he'll love it. And I think he's going to do way better down there in South America than he's already doing here from where he came from. He was not doing good where he was at. He's fine. He's retired, but he's just too much of this worldly stuff, too much, like I said, I'm not going to tell all, but he's just not like I said, this is much better here. He loves it here. It's quiet. There's no noise. He lived near a highway. This is a place where he can, I mean, literally, if he wanted to just take his clothes off and run around on this property, nobody's going to see him. Nobody's going to see him over there. I don't care if I looked over there, and if he was, see his white butt or something would bother me. I don't care. I'm not, but it's such a blessing to have that. And then, so this other property that I'm looking at, it does have a neighbor, but it's really pretty spaced out too. So, and in that place, I'm looking to co-op. I don't mind having a neighbor right there. And actually, Kevin's here, and he's my neighbor now, but he's kind of part of this whole ministry. So, I do appreciate it. Like I said, Buck, I don't want to take anything from somebody, because if somebody's on the other end of this, come judgments, and they went without because I had, that's not going to fend out very well for me, is it? You know what I'm saying? If I took from somebody who didn't have, and just because I'm trying to hold what I have for later, he doesn't want us to do that. He wants us to use what we have. That's why I went ahead and paid off the ministry and didn't worry about, because I put more faith in Father with this case. I'll let the system do what it's supposed to do. It's got to have to run its course. Why hold on to this right now? Take the money and pay the ministry off. Heck yeah. What a better deal. And I needed the money for a lawyer at that time. I did, but I didn't do it. I paid the ministry off. So I feel comfortable doing that. I have zero regrets for doing it. And look at what I've obtained since then. That took everything I had. I mean, it literally took almost everything I owned, to do that. And like I said, that wasn't that long ago. And look at that. That's a stack of gold right there. Heck yeah. Thank you, Father, for making me work, not overly work too hard, because I don't care about this world anymore, really, like that. I work half cock, guys. I really do. I'm just serious. I just tinker. I want to work hard, but I need bodies with me, and I'm not that guy that I was in my 20s. I need people around me and community to work for. I don't want to be myself. Why would I build up a castle for myself? That's lonely, and I don't want to be myself anymore. I already have been isolated for many years. You ever gone 6 months without talking to a human being? It'll change you. It'll make you a different man, staying away from society. And I have a place I can do something like that. And I'm thankful for that. So, wouldn't that be a blessing for others to be able to share something like that in the future? So, um, all right, guys, I need to get some food in my belly. I made something for breakfast, and I didn't even eat but 2 or 3 bites. My gut has just been a little bit nervous, not like that, not anxious, but a little nervous. Like I said, I mean, I'm kind of on a deadline here, and I got 4 or 5 days to come up with $15,000. So tomorrow I'm going to be moving the sign over to the property, and and because I have that big for sale sign on the property, I'm going to be dropping it down $19,000 for my purchasing price, original price. So I'm just going to, hopefully maybe somebody will smack that thing. It's a perfect time out here to build out here. This is just the absolute perfect time to be out there working. You know what I'm saying? So maybe somebody will buy that. Guys, I listed the property, and I had so many hits on it. I've gotten a lot of hits. Father just didn't want the people to be there, but I originally listed that property at $38,000, and I got a lot of hits, a lot of interest. I just couldn't seem. I had people come out and look at it. They just couldn't seem to get the right buyer. Probably the wrong time of year. I dropped it down to 33, and I got a lot of hits, again, but it was just time, it's like I was trying to pay the ministry off with the money. I didn't have this one sold because it wasn't even up on the market. I didn't even have it on the market. Didn't really want to sell it, but hey, life ain't Burger King. It came available, and that one's now available. You know what I'm saying? So that's the 5 acres, but I've dropped it down now to 29, 29.8, and I still get a lot of likes. I just haven't anybody pulled the trigger. I mean, this is the closest property in this North Lake. Some people drive their kids 50 miles to school out here. Seriously, guys, the bus don't come, so they got to drive their kids 50 miles to school. That ain't nothing out here. 25 miles out is not that far out here from town. 25 miles is not, this is a big valley. So 25 miles from the center, from where I'm at, is not that far from the school, because the school is like at the northern south, the northern west portion of the county up here. So the people, most of them live way over there, or way, so this is the closest property available online right now for sale, located to the school. It's just over 2.5 miles. So it's way valuable. And I was really hoping a family would come in and benefit, because maybe they'd work into town or something. They had one of those $1 million homes in Bend, and they would sell this, and they get this little 38, which I was very good price, and now 33, and now I lowered it to 28. But I think I'm going to literally drop another $10,000 off of it tomorrow, guys, and I'm going to lower it down to 19.8, and that's like $20,000 off the original price. And this is just a near perfect property, guys. I mean, it's got a perfect building space. It's got a huge backbone across the western portion. So no, the highway lights, you're not going to see any highway lights. You can tuck it back in. No, I didn't get no precious metals back. No, these are all precious metals that I bought since then. Traded. Actually, I was showing all these precious metals right here I have traded for, guys. All of these precious metals. None of these metals that I have here that I didn't pay, didn't go buy them off of Atmex. It didn't, didn't get taxed. It didn't get None of these. All of this here was traded for. All of this right here was traded for. Okay, there's like 3 ounces there. That's a quarter. That's a quarter, and that's a 1/10 ounce. Every one of these I work for, guys. I work for all of this by trading. By trading. You know what I'm saying? So I want to hold on to this metal for 6 months if I can, at the most, and I guarantee you that I will turn this into $38,000 and even be able to give these full price for that ministry if it's still available. I'm not some kind of prophet. I have a pretty good intuition. I've been in the precious metals markets for 20 plus buying and watching it before as a young, and 30 years. I know this market. This metal is at an all-time high, and it's not even anywhere close to what the value of this metal can be. And in my eyes, silver is worth more. But I'm not talking about that right now because nobody understands that. I understand this market. I work for all of this, guys. Every bit of this metal, like I said, came from a trade, or a sale. So there's about $13,000 worth of metal. Okay, right here. This isn't my gold that I got from Marshall. No, I didn't get any metals back. This has all been, I worked my ass off for this stuff, BSW. I really worked hard. And like I said, to get to this is like just this. I gave away a $6,500 Jeep. $6,500 Jeep for one. This guy said, he even admitted, he's like, whatever, he said, you're an honest guy. I was going to come up there and bring you the $2,500 cash, you know, and I had $2,500 I was going to offer you and this Cougaran, because I said I would do it for 2 pieces of gold for the Jeep for helping that guy out. His wife died and I bought the 2 vehicles to help him out. Well, this guy knew the guy that owned the Jeep for years. So I sold it to him. And he's like, I'm going to be honest with you. I was going to come up there and make you an offer because he said he wanted to come look at the Jeep. I just was busy doing other things. Things going here. I couldn't coordinate with him with the right time. But he said he would have come up and gave me $2,500 cash in this because he knows what it was worth. He knew the guy who owned it for like 22 years. So he knew the Jeep. But whatever, I don't care. Because I think eventually, like I said, that would make itself up, guys. I just had to bite the bullet. Bite the bullet. It is what it is. This can help this guy out. He knows the owner. What a cool situation. You know what I'm saying? What a cool situation. So it helped him. It put, I mean, I didn't make any money, like I said, on the deal. I just basically got the money back that I helped that guy out with, which was okay. Because it helped him out. It put my money in reserve. And you know, I didn't really, it's okay though. It worked out. The guy loves the Jeep. He knew the owner. I got this now. And I think if I can hold on to it in 6 months, it will double in value. You can't tell me that Bitcoin's worth $116,000 and one of these can't be worth $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 very easily, guys. Are you that fooled by these crypto madness? And I'm not saying you couldn't, but this is money. So once again, yeah, I'm a silver bug, guys. I'm a silver bug. I love silver. I don't care about gold. I remember the first time I showed my son gold, and that was just recently. I never bought gold before. And I bought a lot of these, guys, through the years. I bought a lot of 10th ounce sizes. I actually purchased all these. You'd find these on the record, me purchasing 10th ounces. These, I didn't purchase these. These I work for. These I bartered and I trade and I sold and I, you know, for this gold, you know. No, they wanted to take me to trial tomorrow. They were trying to take me to trial tomorrow. So here's the plan, guys. And it is what it is. For me, and I don't want to make plans because Father will destroy them, you know. Cool. Isn't that awesome? Carpenter, I love that. Name Carpenter, work for gold, silver. I'll take payment. I tell people I'll take your kids if they work hard. Tell them that next time, okay, Carpenter? Tell them that. Say I take RVs, CDs, MP3s, anything with keys and a title, and hell, I'll even take your kids if they work hard. Your wife too, if she wants to come along with me. All right. All right. No, just kidding. But anyways, it's nice to actually know that I don't get taxed. There's no tax on this. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody is paying me for my labor or my work, I'm not letting the government grab their taxes out of that. There's no taxes on this. You know what I'm saying? No taxes on that. EMS got it. All right. So, hey, we're trying, guys. You know, it's a difficult life that I lead, but Father, I try to have a little humor in here. I know I'm a serious guy, but you can't be all business all the time, guys. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but I was buying these like a 10th ounce at the time, guys. I was just buying small amounts. And I remember my son, he's like, Dad, why do you have gold? I mean, I know you got a gold belly button ring, but we don't buy gold. What are you buying gold for? I said, son, I even got a little Bitcoin. He's like, you bought Bitcoin? I'm like, no. Somebody tied one time. I've had one tie the Bitcoin. Somebody you can cash app Bitcoin to, as well. I should add that. Maybe somebody will use Bitcoin because I'll cash the Bitcoin out and turn it into whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'll turn that into that. So, hey, I take Bitcoin on my Cash App. If you know anybody's got Bitcoin, see, that would be the one, huh? Somebody be able to load up my Bitcoin right now with like 15,000 because maybe they had 4 or 5 coins or something like that. And that wouldn't be hey, you know anybody with Bitcoin wants to donate to the ministry and make a Bitcoin, Cash App, Bitcoin payment? Because I never had. I remember my son came to me, guys, when I was getting ready to go buy some silver and I just sold a motorhome. I had $3,000 cash. And my son begged me to buy what I didn't know at the time was Bitcoin. I mean, I looked into it and then I said I wasn't going to buy it because I figured out it was a front towards this digital space where they're going to credit score everybody eventually. That's where it's going to lead. Bit is going to lead to a social credit scoring. That's the end result, period. I don't care where they go with this, guys. It will lead to a social. Look up Sesame Credit in China. They did the same thing as some phone app is a game, and then now it's how they run their country. It'll happen here as well. It's going to happen on a north, east, west, and south. Get with the news. All 4 corners of this rock will be affected. So I remember my son, Dad, what are you buying gold for? Well, most of my gold, like I said before, I was buying little 10th-ounce pieces because I can't afford, or quarter-ounce, smaller fractional because I can't afford them. Most of them were 10th. I was buying 10th-ounce pieces for under $200 an ounce. That's how I was getting them. And I knew that was a good rate at the time because gold was a little over 2,000 and I was getting them a little under from a miner out of Colorado. It's a mining company out of there. So, but anyways, all that got taken from me, and I'd bought many of those $200 at a time, $200 a time, $200 at a time because I can't afford 2,000. I don't get Social Security. I don't get disability. I don't get anything. So when I get an extra $200, I would buy it. And so that's how I did that with that. I had sold a motorhome. My son asked me to buy, I had $3,000 cash and he begged me to buy 10 Bitcoin. He's like, Dad, you're not going to make the money. I know you understand this. You're not going to make the money on the physical metal that you'd make like on a mine or on a stock. And look when Bitcoin was $300. Look how smart this young man was way back then. Dad, you've got $3,000. You're going to go buy like $500 worth of metal. You're not even going to spend it. You're going to put it away. You say you're going to go down there and buy $1,000 or $2,000 worth of metal. I've been with you, Dad. You don't never buy that much metal. You just won't do it. You just have a thing about buying a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. If you chip away a little bit, you chip away a little bit, you chip away a little bit, chip away a little bit. Next thing you know, you'll have a stack, so to speak, or a whole big old piece will fall off, right? And that's how it worked. And I said, no, son, I'm not going to do it. But he came to me, he's like, Dad, buy these 10 coins. These are digital coins. This is the future, Dad. This is the way everything's going to go. And I said, well, son, I appreciate it, but I've looked into it and I can't do it. But I take Bitcoin now because somebody gave it to me, so I didn't buy it. So if you want to add to Bitcoin, if you know anybody's got Bitcoin, that would be actually, I'm going to be a Bitcoin pumper for now. Well, I'll just at least mention it in the Cash App because there is a Cash App, Bitcoin Cash App. I think I could just convert it right over to my Cash App too, which would be nice. And then I could just, so that would be a neat thing to do. So if you know anybody that wants to help this ministry and they have abundance, see, they got to have a lot. I don't want to take from anybody that doesn't have abundance because $100 bill is the new 20. You break $100 bill and it's like a gone with a win, right? Anybody disagree with that? The 100's the new 20. They go so fast, guys. You break $100 bill used to last a week, 2, 3 weeks. You can make a $100 bill last. $100 bill doesn't. I see people like when they go into the store you know, it's like they have this little Cooper's Market, and the little barbecue burritos, $3.79. The burgers are like $6-8. $6-8, and they go in there and they'll grab 2 burgers and a burrito and a drink. You guys, you're talking about a $30 freaking meal out of a freaking heat case. And I know they're not eating Doritos and they're eating a burger and stuff, but fried food, a couple burritos, a couple burgers, they're just the whatever, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. And a lot of guys are hungry. They're on a lunch break. They grab a couple, I'll see 3 or 4 burgers and that $2 soda, and they probably got a candy bar before they get up there too, because I'm sitting back there. You're talking $30 stinking dollars, guys, to sit down that these people spend just at lunch to have some crap, junk. I mean, this is better than eating, you know, ho-hos and ding-dongs, but still, fried burritos and the barbecue beef or the little spring rolls or the monster whatever bites or the pizza steak. Dude, that's all crap. It's not good for you. A little bit's okay every once in a while as a treat. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem I'm having is it's $30. So $20 bill doesn't even buy what some of these guys are eating. That doesn't buy their meal. That's crazy. $20 freaking dollars does not buy the average guy that comes in there. He's got a work shirt on. He's a contractor or something like that. He's a farmer or something. They grab a couple burgers, a couple burritos, a drink, you know, whatever. If even it's in the bottle, it's $3 or $4 for freaking the juice is $6 now, guys. You go to the AM/PM and you get an organic juice, it's $5.79. So don't want to take from anybody, guys, okay? Appreciate when people donate. Dollars are very, very, very hard to come by. And that's because they've just imprinted. The $100 bill is the most printed denomination in all currency right now. The 100. You'd think it'd be the 5 or the 20. No, it's the 100. So that 100 goes fast, guys, now. And they keep cranking these things out, you know, and they're about ready if you pay attention. You guys, there's about an epic move about to ready to happen if you've been paying attention to the financial markets. Poker face, yellow stain pal. He's just the most best poker face of any poker player ever to face, and he never sit down at a poker table. But pal is not lowering the interest rates, right? The basis points. Trump wants this down. Pal's holding him up, guys. There's about to be a big mix-up in this market. You watch, guys. I am not some kind of prophet. I can see these debt cycles, these economic, these, you know, there's the great turning. These things are bad. Pay attention. There's a reserve currency cycle. Trump is about to fire Powell and replace it with the new chairman, and he's going to lower the freaking interest rates. I'm not a prophet, guys. I can just see it coming. It's been too long sitting at this. I just picked all the metal market. Ask Kevin. I have to a T picked these metal markets. To a T. And not even to the price, to the ratio. Because the price is irrelevant. And I've been able to pick price too, because it doesn't matter. There's moving averages. These are Fibonacci, you know, codes that are, you know, part of these different codes that are part of these cycles. Bitcoin has its own cycle. Gold, it's all cyclical. So if you pay attention to these cycles, you can foresee, you know, what is to come on most markets. Are not that hard. Trump wants these interest rates back down, just like he did. He brought them down to 0. So don't think I don't know what I'm talking about. Remember, between Obama, who had him down for 8 years, and then Trump brought him down, there was almost, the interest rates were at like, what, 14 years or something like that? Interest rates sat at 0% interest, which means that penalizes you, the saver. You put money under your mattress, you ain't making a dime. You put money in the savings account, you may make. What the hell is up with that? Why would you see what that did is that forced people to spend their money into the economy. If it goes, deflation is their biggest nightmare, guys. Deflation is the central banks, the U.S., and all these governments' worst nightmare, because we're seeing that actually happen in China right now. If you're paying attention, I've been, you know, referring you to the channel China Observer. When people think that what they're going to get is not going to be more expensive, but yet cheaper, they'll stop buying it. That's called deflation. And that's what these people, that's why they're pumping the cycle up like they're pumping it out right now, guys, because you don't understand these debt cycles. And it's okay. It's not the end of the world, but this does actually happen, and most of these things are very cyclical. So if you watch, Trump already brought these interest rates down to zero. He wants them back down between 1% and 2%. Remember? So I told everybody this is going to happen. They're going to bring them up like this during the, the Biden administration, Let's Go Brandon, right? Donald Trump's island boy. He trades lightsabers in his ice hole, so they're both island boys. But either way, he pumped them up so Trump can do this and collapse the market. That's why I know Trump's here to crush the market, which he has done already. He's destroying the markets. He's destroying the whole economy because we're bringing in a new system. If you're holding on to the old system, you're one of these idiots you're going to get sucked into the new one because you ain't got a way out of this. You don't have your own way out of this system. So you'll go into the new. You got to at least get 1 foot out of the system. Right? Become your own central bank, So most of these people don't see what's about to happen. And I've been paying attention to this debt cycle. I believe any day now, we're going to see a shakeup in the markets because Trump is going to fire Powell because he won't lower interest rates down. And he's told him to lower interest rates. And they're buddies. I'm sure Yellowstone has had his thing in his behind too. Okay. They both do I got your back, buddy. Don't worry about it. Right. Sure. They do. They're all part of the same team. It's like a train. They run a train on each other. It is what it is. I know it sounds, this is cruel and unusual punishment to the people by monetary, literally, inflation creation is making every dollar that's in your pocket worth less and less. Every single time that they do this, so Trump is going to fire Powell, bring in a new Fed chairman. They're going to lower interest rates and start that inflation creation machine again, guys, to try to pump these markets back up and get this one last hurrah I think they'll have out of this. But I don't think it'll last. I don't think it'll work for them. I really don't think. But you just watch now. I don't know if you've heard anybody else say this. I don't know if you watch the Fed minutes, if you understand how they do these things and how these raising of the basis points or lowering of the interest, rates, how this affects any of this. Most people are it's okay. People think economics are like all this, like, oh, I got to get a calculator and I got to add it. Yeah, there's a lot of that, but more of there's a lot of cyclical things. And I'm a cycle guy. So I love things that are cyclical, in Father Nature, if you will. And they have these cycles. So the debt cycle is one of them. So watching what Trump did last time, he's going to act like Powell's the bad guy, right? And he's not. They're on the same team. So he's about ready to do this to shake the markets up, guys. I think we'll see this come this month coming up here, potentially for the end of the month or August, or potentially, if you listen, Trump told Putin he needs to be done warring in Ukraine by September 2nd. So they're making already massive moves that you guys probably aren't paying attention to. And it's okay. Don't worry about it. You got somebody like me come here and do some of the legwork for you. And that's why I referred you to other bloggers that do the same thing similar to me. People who take time to off camera, do a lot of these things, do a lot of hard research for you so you can discern them for yourself. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. Discern all things. Act like everything I tell you is a lie. You should actually be doing that already. You should be discerning these things, running these through your filter. This is all a lie. He said, believe no man. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to happen, guys. This is why I think if I can hold on to these precious metals here in the next few months, I will have more than enough just in this to be able to purchase the land. And then I got lawsuits coming, guys. I have lawsuits coming. So I'm not going to stand down. I will file a lawsuit. I will. If I don't file lawsuits and I agree to do that, then I have other ways to work these things. I already explained to you how to do that through civil lawsuit. I can fight criminal liability. I have lots of ways. I've studied this, and I'm not doing this to gain monetarily at all. As a matter of fact, if I could just find out that my son and daughter were alive and didn't need me, I'd be okay with dying tonight. I don't want to die in my sleep. I hope it'd be some horrible death. They come shoot me up or something, you know. But I'm okay with dying. I don't need to be here any longer. I'm only here because Father wants me here. I'm not serving myself anymore, in case you ain't figured that out about me. There's nothing in here. I have animals that I have to take care of. They are my biggest responsibility in this ministry. You know, keeping this thing up and try not to overdo it with my deal, get it taking me down. And, but I'm not serving me anymore. I'm not doing this for me. I'm facing 6 felony charges. I already could have left the country. I had a passport. I had all my retirement, but I stayed here. So I already could have left, but here I am. Now I can't leave. So, you know, Father will unchain me this time. But if I have a chance to go, you mark my words, I'm going to head south and I'm going to get this ministry set up because I think that's what Father wants. He wants to have me down there, boots on the ground, you know. So it'll work, guys. And no matter what happens, you know what I'm saying? No matter what happens, I want Father's will to be done. So it doesn't matter where I land in this lifetime. Thy kingdom come. That's the return of the bride and the bridegroom at the return of the bridegroom to pick up the bride at the wedding feast of the lambs. Thy will be done. And I don't want my will. So I need to locate my son. I cannot believe what they just did to me. The violation of my rights. I mean, I've already had to go through people doxing me on here, and then the cops don't getting my son, but then to have a judge sit there and tell me that he's going to throw me in jail because I say my son is dead or kidnapped and my daughter's, you know, or just murdered. Remember, I just said murder. I didn't even imply that kidnapping. And he told me that I was nutty, that I was speaking gibberish, and that I was like talking to a wall because I'm trying to find out where my son is at. I don't know how people turn off being parents. And I know a lot of parents are good parents, but some aren't. I can't turn off being a dad. My son is almost 26 years old, and I'm never going to stop looking for him. That's why I have to stay here in America, because I don't think he's out of the country. I think his body still resides here in this country. Whether he's alive or not, that's to be determined. I've done everything I can. I've reported him dead. Just the other day in court, the cop didn't even, or the judge didn't even take a recess and say, wait a minute. Listen, Tracy, I'm a judge in this county. If there was a murder in my county, I need to know about this. What do you mean Josephine County? I had no idea I was even speaking to a Josephine County judge. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea I was even speaking to a Josephine County judge at the time. That's unfathomable. Imagine how my heart sunk when I found out that, guys. I already said this doesn't look very good for Elijah. This looks like a cover-up. Why would they have a 7-year prison sentence on him for his downward departure, which is a bunch of crap, but they got it. Whether it's illegal or not, they put it into play, and they can go get him, and they don't go get him. That leads me to believe that his body is not here anymore, or his body is here, but it's not in a physical sense anymore. And I don't even know if his wife knows what's going on with him. Is she there with him? I have no way of knowing any of these things. I think this is something that, you know, somebody should have. Sorry, my little bucket. Why is that doing that? Sorry, the dog water is leaking. Get back, pets. Get back, Buggy. Thank you. That was weird. So I'm not going to stop looking for Elijah. And if I end up in prison, oh, how'd you end up in prison? Well, I was trying to find my son and they threw me in prison for trying to look at him, for trying to find him. Because I was harassing them because they wouldn't look for him. They ended up charging me. Yeah. Is that a bad thing to get thrown in prison for? Why are you in here, man? What's your charges? Well, hindering prosecution, interfering with the police officer, menacing the police, and harassing the police. So you got a bunch of cop charges? Yeah, what do you expect me to do? These cops knew where my son was at and they wouldn't go get him. And I reported to him his death and they wouldn't go do anything. That's why they threw you in prison? Yeah, this is America, man. Don't you love this country and this great? I'm a veteran too. This is how they treat veterans, so you know, in this country. I'm not the only one that's probably been treated like this. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. I mean, my dogs is what I'd be thinking about every freaking day, guys. Suffering, whining. They don't do well without me. That's what I'd be thinking about if I get locked up. So, I don't think I'm gonna get locked up, guys. I really don't. I don't think that they can. They don't have a case. So I'll be working on this more, and there's a long haul to go, guys. I have a tremendous amount of labor involved because I have vehicles that I need to get, taken care of, up and on for sale again, cleaned up, 100%. Sometimes it takes me a whole day to get a vehicle clean. I like to make a vehicle cleaner than when I bought it. So I'll be lowering the price from $39,000 to $19,000 on the property. I'm going to take a $20,000 haircut on that property. And that's kind of a bummer because I had a lot of interest at the 38.9. A lot. I had more when I actually raised the price of the property. I had way more interest in the property, but I needed to get the land. I need to get the money to pay this off, the land, the property here. I thought something could happen to me and I wanted it done. I think Father drew me to do that. He wanted me to do this. So that's why I did what I did. Instead of helping myself, the land now is here. And even if I go now, the land is still here. It's not going anywhere. So it's always going to provide. Hopefully, it could provide for generations to come. If I ever want to own a piece of land again or something, get a piece of land, I'll go buy another piece of land. I still have 20 acres up the road. I still have 5 acres up the road. You know what I'm saying? I still have property. It's not like if this wasn't a loss to me. I never purchased this. Like I said, Kevin was here when the person was there. When I purchased this property, when I literally put down the down payment on this property, Kevin was here and I said, hey, can you be a witness? When I bought this property, did I buy this property for me? And they said, no, you bought it to build a community. You didn't buy it for you. You wanted to build that community out there and give it to as a community space. Because I was never really bought land. So when I originally purchased it, wasn't to buy it for myself ever. It was always to build a community. That's why it's never been strange for me to take this money and put it in that direction. Because this gives that ability for that to happen now so much easier. Now I don't have to split the cost of the mortgage or the land payments with anybody out here. And I never wanted that anyways. Remember, I never said you had to come out here and pay me to live on the land. It was always for no charge anyways. It was you had to use your labor to grow organically to be a part of it. But it was never a monetary, come out here and split the land payment with me. No, we got it. We got it. We got it. So I got only one more property out here that I have to pay off. And that's the only land payment I have left, which is nice. I mean, it's nice getting these, 45 acres of land out from underneath. I already paid that one, but now I only have one more land payment. And I'd love to get that one paid off too. But that's the one my son was supposed to move on. So I can't sell it to anybody else. When my son said he wanted to live here with me, he didn't want to live on this property. He didn't live on the highway. He wanted to live on that 20 acres of Bowens. And they liked it, him and his, wife. And they even brought stuff here to the property and to store here until they can move out here. We got material for the house that we're going to build a house on that property. And so yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take this gold here that I have. See, this is all gold here. There's, believe it or not, these are the same amount of gold. But I have, about $13,000 in gold right here. But I'd like to hold on to it to purchase the property in Ecuador. This one was 47,000. That one's 38. I have that property up for sale right now. I'm going to lower the price of it. It's on the internet. You can look at the marketplace for 29.88, and I'm going to lower it down to 19.88. And my original, I'm going to lose $20,000 again. Whatever. I don't care. I need to get this property. I need to pay these bills. I need to take care of the criminal case. And as soon as I take care of the criminal case, I will be able to file the civil lawsuit, which will turn out to be millions of dollars, guys. If you don't think so, go just look at the live stream. Look at how they assaulted me. I mean, that is assault, battery, attempted murder. That's in the violation of my Fourth Amendment. That's a criminal violation. They assaulted me. That's a criminal charge. This isn't a civil lawsuit. That's why I've had to do this. I need to get this attorney to look at this case and say, look, this is a violation of my Fourth Amendment right. They assaulted me. They assaulted my daughter and my son. This is an assault charge. This is a criminal case. Not only is it criminal, but my Fifth Amendment, my Miranda rights, adequate counsel, Sixth Amendment, fair, speedy trial, due process, Eighth Amendment, 12th Amendment, all my rights were cruel, unusual. These are civil lawsuits. Have you ever thought of a rent-to-own situation with the land? I'm sure rental prices would be great for rent-to-own. Well, what I have currently up right now, Duddy, on the property is that I said I would take half down on this property, and I pay the taxes on it because it's still in my name. But I would take half down and the remaining at $300 a month. Now, guys, I had a guy the other day. He messaged me and he had a Tesla wall. Guys, I've been considering this. I have to think about this. He had a brand new Tesla wall. I don't know if you know what one of those Tesla wall comes with, those Tesla walls, and two of their major, bigger inverters that was with it that he added. So we're talking about a good substantial amount of money. And he wanted to trade that Tesla wall and the remaining at $500 a month. $500 a month. And I thought, man, I should consider this because these could hook up freeze dryers out here. With that Tesla wall, I can run a freeze dryer. Two of them out here. I can run a couple freeze dryers pretty easily. I don't know, guys. I need the cash right now from it. You know what I'm saying? That Tesla wall doesn't pay the attorney bill. You know what I'm saying? I need the Tesla wall bad, but I need this first. If I was out of this, I'd do it right now. I'd be so on it, guys. He sent me all the info on it. It's legit. It's not some bogus deal. He's like, look, he said, look, I'll give you wholesale cost. He basically was saying that he would take $16,000 for this Tesla wall. And that's not even the price of the inverters. The inverters are unbelievable for this Tesla wall. It's not a cheap system. That didn't even include the Tesla wall, And I'm like, man, now that's a come up right there. But I can't use that right now. I can't use that right now. I'd have to be a little bit more up to get that up and running out here too, so to speak. It costs money to install that wall. And like something you could just throw it up and and plug it in. It's a little more complicated. It's quite a complex system, very complex. But I need the cash right now. I need to get this attorney. I'll buy 5 Tesla walls with the lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Father, why do you got to do this to me right now? I could have really used that out here. I can't imagine. I put that Tesla wall up. We build a building for it. Kevin and I can run both of these properties. We could put a well in, you know what I'm saying, and have the pump run, and it would just be an absolute blessing. But he said he would give me $500 a month, and I wanted 3 and the Tesla wall. So he's willing to give me, 16,000 is what he wanted for the Tesla wall and the inverters. And I looked at him like, how is he doing this? And he's like, I can't use the wall right now. I can't. I moved. I'm not in the situation. He's moving out of his big house. He's very wealthy. He has a lot of money, and he wants out from underneath his debt. You know what I'm saying? He don't want no more debt. He sees the tax burden coming, and he's getting out now. This guy is bailing out. He's a real smart guy. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's getting out from underneath his debt. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not debted. He's tax burden. He has a very high tax burden because he lives in a very high tax area, and his taxes will kill him if they raise taxes. And he knows that, and he knows what's coming. He's smart. A lot of these elite people are moving into precious metals and things like Tesla walls and, things that are valuable, like land, out here is going to be a very valuable move. So he'd take a hit, but he'd get, because my land is underpriced right now. He knows that. He's probably watched my original posting and been watching the land for some time, because there are people moving out from the bigger cities like Bend out here and living the dream. So it's tough, man. Like, what do I do? But I can't put that Tesla wall in right now. I really wish I could. I need to store it for a while, and and it would take me probably about $5,000 or $6,000 to get it up and going, guys. It's not something you just throw it in and go. It would take a building, a cover, some wire. It can't just run that like like it's some little, jackery battery thing or something like that. This is a very diverse system, but I was like, Father, why you got to do that to me right now? I need that wall, man. I need that wall, and what a good offer. So that tells me that the land value is worth it, guys. I mean, I just had some guy offer me, twice almost as much as what I'm asking for the property. And here I'm going to go ahead and lower it tomorrow down, another 10 grand and lose another 20, 20 grand on the property. So, well, that's something I would do anyways, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't have the assets right now. I don't have the ability. I don't have the way to store it, move it around, do it. I need a little bit more. I need to be up a little bit more, and then I could use something like that to just, actually, yeah. And now I've looked at it. It's expensive. I mean, the minimum it looked like it to hook up was about 4 or 5 grand to get the thing up, going, wired, powered into your system. See, I don't even have a pole out here. I don't have any of that. I'm raw, and a Tesla wall is normally being installed into a power grid system to switch off and on the grid. I mean, it's a very complicated system. It is. I mean, I really wish that I was a little bit further along out here. I would snatch that thing up and say, the hell with ever putting this place on the grid. You know what I'm saying? That would be enough to run the freeze dryers. That would be enough to run what's out here. And then anybody else could tap into that, because that could be used as like washing. I'd put that in I'd put that in to where we put a leg off and could come to the cabins or whatever and run a well. But that would run the main studio out here. I want to build a studio out here to shoot nothing but content out of the studio. Hook it up, you know what I'm saying? Run a washing machine in there. So there's a centralized washer and dryer here for people on the ministry. I've got a little washer you can run up to, but both of my generators are down right now. I don't want to talk about my generator situation right now, but anyways, it is what it is. I don't care. I still make power. I don't need generator to make a power. I can make power without the generator. It costs gas. I don't cost me or I'm invested. So, but anyways, I could run a washer and dryer, you know what I'm saying, out here, freeze dryers in the studio, and it'd be fine, but I would need a building, you know what I'm saying, to put that in and then hook it up and then run that thing out. Because it's not just something you just put out off grid, let it sit out in the, in the open, and it'd ruin it, guys. And that would be no good for it. So I hated to pass it up, guys, like I said, and I didn't make them an offer. I said, I'll consider it. I have, just kind of in a situation right now where I need to do what's best. So, anyways, guys, I need to eat, man. I stayed in here too long. Love you, brothers, sisters. Appreciate it. Thank you for the last stream. We got 3 super chats on the last live stream and 2 cash apps, which are really cool. I appreciate that. The super chats will go to the ministry payment, and the cash app payments will go towards the legal fund. If anybody knows how to set up a GoFundMe, you're more than welcome. I shouldn't be offering myself out like that, but maybe one of you guys know how to do that. I see people set up these GoFundMes, and in days they're filled up with other people, whatever, refer to anything on here. I don't know. I got to try to do, I'm not desperate. I have the funding, as you can see. I just like to hold this precious metals for later time and then purchase land with that, the Ecuador ministry. So, because there's a whole nother plan down there with food. So, um, and that property already has power on that property. There's already a 2-bedroom house on there. So, place to live, place to grow, place to produce food. It's got a power pole, so we can go. So that's where hopefully we'll be headed here in the next. I don't know. I don't want to put a timeline on it because Father will do it in His own time. So again, if you know anybody again that has maybe a Bitcoin, 2 or 3 Bitcoin, and they want to make a donation to what, I think this is a worldwide ministry and what I'm doing with the funding, and I'll show you what I'm doing with it. I won't hide any of it. I'll show you. You can be a part of it if you want to. I don't mind somebody coming in and helping. I need help, guys. So I'm swallowing my pride. I don't have any pride, and I'm asking for help. So if you know anybody that has abundance, like, again, kind of person that could go to the casino, take a couple grand and throw it on a craps table and lose it and walk out, and it doesn't hurt them. Maybe throw it on blackjack, splitting the aces. The house wins, but and it doesn't affect them. That's who I need to donate, guys. Okay. So don't worry about it. If you don't have a tremendous amount of abundance, I'm going to be talking about this for the next few days. And I'll probably let it go after that because I don't think I'm going to have much more time. He needs the money to represent me. I have a trial date coming up or a status hearing, and I need him to be well ready to go and at least have a week or so before for this thing to get all his ducks in the row to go over there and tell him you dropped this case or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I I had to pick an expensive attorney, guys. I can't just get some run-of-the-mill attorney. This guy's expensive. He has an extensive record. He's taken a lot of cases to trial. He's been practicing law. He got, his degree back in the 80s, 82, I think is when he first practiced. So he's not a young guy. He's been doing this for a long time, many decades. So the first time I ever looked in the guy's eyes, I saw great white sharks and hammerheads swimming around in his eyes. I said, that's the attorney I need right there. A guy who's, he gets a lot of respect. I've seen him in court. I've even seen people call him on a third-party conference call and they hang up on him because they're afraid of him. You know what I'm saying? Hang up on him, guys. They hang up. I've had called, when I had some issues, I was having him work on something. He was working on the case, bam, and he got hung up on. I knew I was in a very serious attorney, so he's not a nice guy and he doesn't waste my time. So I won't waste yours. If you can help me out, there's a Cash App, PayPal, Bitcoin Cash App. Thank you for your support. I'll be back later on for the end of the day. I'm going to take some time and relax here a little bit, spend some time with Father, maybe do some more research, and I'll try to come on before the end of the day and see if we can't pick up a couple more tithes. So do appreciate everybody already that's just spending time here. That's plenty of, that's good. No obligation. Father's going to bless this ministry. I knew it was going to happen last time, and Father allowed me to make it happen last time. Remember? Thank you, Brother Kevin, for, that's a good chunk of the ministry. He purchased the land. I gave him that for half price over there. I gave Kevin the land for half price. So it is what it is, man. I don't care about money. So much blessings. Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the love that you've shown the channel. I'll come back on and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to heat myself up my breakfast that I didn't even eat. I made some beef sausage and eggs, and I didn't eat but 2 bites. My stomach was doing cartwheels. So thanks for your support. Come back when you have some more time. All right, Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa.